Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin, the buck stops here, the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Built Right, one location saves you money.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
This isn't just a rivalry. It's Brewers Cubs, and it's going down today in Chicago.
Curveball struck him out swinging.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:35.
And Trevor McGill strikes out 3 to secure the series win.
We are the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 6 o'clock, I'm Erik Bilstad. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Thursday, June 19th. Our top story, the missiles keep flying.
I'm Telly Hughes, in for Vince Vitrano. A big day of festivals in Milwaukee.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, looking pretty good out on the roads. No major incidents really to slow you down. Little bit of a tap on the brakes on northbound 41 from about Mayfair Road up past North Avenue, but nothing major really to slow you. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Clouds early on, then the sun will come out. Slight chance for rain later on, a high of 80. Tonight, clear sky, a low of 65. Right now, at 6:01, it's 64 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, as many as 50 people hurt after an Iranian missile attack hits a hospital in southern Israel overnight. The BBC's Dan Johnson says the barrage of missiles coming into Israel today from Iran be the most intense since the conflict began.
The defense minister has said Iran's Ayatollah will be held accountable for what has happened this morning, for the damage to Israel's infrastructure, the further damage to homes and buildings, and the wounded who've been affected at that hospital. And it's not just there. There are reports of 65 people across Israel having been hurt this morning.
Israel's now accusing Iran of a war crime for the missile that hit the hospital. Iran says it was targeting a nearby military facility, which may also have been a center for intelligence gathering.
Meanwhile, lawmakers in Washington are split over possible U.S. involvement in the Israel-Iran conflict, as President Trump has suggested U.S. forces could join the bombing campaign against Iran's nuclear program. Pennsylvania Democratic Senator John Fetterman says the U.S. military can get the job done.
We should all do that. We have the capabilities to do that.
But Fetterman's Senate colleague, Virginia Democrat Tim Kaine, says Congress should have the final say on the matter.
We shouldn't go to war with Iran without a congressional debate and vote.
President Trump says he's keeping his options open and hasn't decided how to move forward.
Where is Travis Decker? The search continues for a man from Pewaukee accused of killing his 3 young daughters in Washington state. It's been more than 2 weeks now since he's been missing. In a WTMJ exclusive, the sheriff at the center of the search says new methods are being used to track Decker.
Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison says planes, helicopters, drones, and dogs are being used to hunt for Travis Decker.
Just a lot of areas to hide, certainly challenging terrain. We have a lot of mountaineering people that come out here and just explore. So it's a challenging area to search for sure.
And Morrison tells us even psychics are being used.
They've reached out and they've given some theories. And of course, we've made an effort to look into some of those.
In 2020, it took 3 weeks to track down a fugitive in the same thick, remote area of Washington. John Mercier, WTMJ News.
Authorities have new images now of what Decker would look like if he had changed his appearance. We do have images of those if you text the word poster to 855-616-1620 to the WTMJ Siding Unlimited talk and text line.
The Wisconsin Department of Health Services fines Milwaukee Public Schools over lead cleanup.
The $5,500 fine is for violations of state code during the lead remediation work at 4 schools this spring and summer. They were also fined for repeated noncompliance and failure to follow earlier guidance. DHS said that instead of paying the fee to the state treasurer, MPS should reinvest the money into lead-safe renovations. MPS has until June 24th to answer answer questions about future renovation work. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Today's the day the big gig begins. Summerfest, one of the biggest music festivals in the world, and the production power behind it is homegrown.
While the lights flash and music pumps through Summerfest, Mindpool is controlling everything you see on the big screens.
We're responsible for all the live video production at the festival, so any of the multi-camera feeds that you see, the screens and or LED walls, monitors around the festival grounds, we produce all those feeds.
President and owner of Mindpool, Josh Adams.
Whether it's social media, whether it's people just taking pictures and texting it to their friends, the video screens end up so many times becoming the kind of up-close and personal experience takes place.
Nicer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Today is also Juneteenth, which commemorates the day the last group of enslaved people found out they had been freed. In Milwaukee, a local filmmaker is honoring Juneteenth with an effort honoring a civil rights icon.
You may have noticed a mural below the I-43 overpass on Fond du Lac Avenue of a crowd holding up a man and a sign reading, "Free Joshua Glover Now." Local filmmaker Michael Jarr made a mini documentary about that man, and now he's raising money to create a full-length film.
It's a nonprofit endeavor, and every time we get money in, we go out and we interview the next person.
It tells the story of a black man in Racine arrested under the Fugitive Slave Act and the thousands who rallied to his aid.
We want to travel to Toronto, St. Louis, and really kind of tell the story from beginning to end, completely from Joshua Glover's perspective.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Coming up, Houston, we have a major anomaly. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:05.
Start your weekend tonight with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, the most beautiful and affordable summer dining destination. WTMJ's John Mercure here, and I love the Fox and Hounds. It's a special place for our family. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free. Desserts and ice cream drinks, or buy one, get one free. I love the grasshopper, the Bailey's drink. Oh my gosh, buy one, get one free. Order a smothered sirloin, grilled salmon, the new beef short rib mac and cheese, pasta, a big fresh salad, any entree, your second dinner is free. 7 nights a week. Relax with a cold beverage on the patio in the woods, then your free dinner in one of the 8 beautiful, unique dining rooms. The award-winning Fox and Hound Supper Club, just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. The drive through the Kettle Moraine is a Wisconsin summer must-see. Weekends might be too busy? Check out your free dinner tonight. Don't cook, go out for drinks and a free delicious dinner. Tables are open. Check it out. It's my favorite place. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. Go behind the scenes of the Emmy-nominated Giannis documentary. Get the real story of the blockbuster trade for Damian Lillard. Hear the origin of Bucks in 6. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Looking for new floors but tired of the pushy sales pitch? Vince Vitrano here, recommending Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. Local family-run business where the team treats you like a neighbor, not a number. It was actually one of my neighbors who recommended Hunt's to me. No pressure, no gimmicks, just honest advice, beautiful flooring, and help every step of the way. From hardwood to pet-friendly carpet, find the perfect fit for your home and budget. Visit the showroom or start your project now at huntsflooring.com. Hunt's Flooring. Flooring you'll feel good about.
Join the free smoothie party at Tropical Smoothie Cafe on Saturday, June 21st for National Smoothie Day. Tropic Rewards members get a free smoothie with bowl or food purchase. Terms and conditions apply.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 6:07.
So do they bring the Miz today? That story at 6:15.
The ground shook on the southern tip of Texas overnight thanks to an incident that SpaceX characterizes as a major anomaly.
In preparation for its 10th spaceflight, Starship was sitting on a test stand at the SpaceX facility on the South Texas coast. Just after 11 p.m., a small plume of smoke spat from an upper section of the rocket, and moments later, video taken by space enthusiasts about 2 miles away captured a massive explosion. Both SpaceX and the Brownsville Fire Department say nobody was hurt. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Wisconsin ERs are seeing another surge in tick-related visits and an even bigger leap compared to this same time last year.
According to state data, there were 80 visits for tick bites per 10,000 ER trips for the week ending June 1st.
It's not just a seasonal spike, it's been rising year on year.
Dr. Ben Weston for the Medical College of Wisconsin believes the uptick in tick-related visits is due in part to milder temperatures.
Areas that were once too cold or too dry are becoming warmer and more humid and allowing ticks to thrive.
Dr. Weston adds if you find and remove a tick early, you can often stop the disease transmission before it begins. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Giving money to moms who need it, cash to be specific, that's the idea behind the Bridge Project.
The Bridge Project launched in New York in 2021. Then last year, Milwaukee jumped on board with help from the Zilber Family Foundation. Executive Director Liana Bishop.
They receive monthly cash stipend that's loaded onto a debit card, and there are no strings attached. Moms can use the unconditional cash for anything.
Money from the foundation funds 2 years of the 3-year project. The Milwaukee Common Council approved money to fund the 3rd year, and anonymous donors have also given. 1 year in, there's evidence it's working.
When moms entered the program, about 17% struggled with housing instability, and at this 1-year mark, that has decreased to 6%.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
610.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
St. Anne's Center for Intergenerational Care recently switched to James Imaging Systems for their document imaging technology. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
Well, I think that boils back down to the service. We have a good partnership with James Imaging.
With James, you get more than a vendor relationship. You get a local business technology partner.
Oh, absolutely. I can pick up the phone at any time, contact our representative, and he's right on it.
James Imaging Systems, business technology and local support for more productivity, more value.
Definitely. We're a nonprofit here. We have to watch every penny, so we really feel very comfortable in that area with James Imaging.
Comfortable enough to recommend James Imaging Systems to others?
Well, without hesitation, I would recommend James Imaging. They won't be disappointed.
James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Big day today, Debbie.
Big day.
How are the roads?
Good. Oh, you want, okay. Really?
That's great.
No,
good
it's nice and quiet out there. Really, just a quick tap of the brakes northbound on 41, just past Capitol Drive. Nothing else really that's going to slow you down. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Nice temperatures for today as highs will climb from the 60s and 70s this morning to around 80 this afternoon. Small chance for an isolated shower or storm, but overall staying dry with more sunshine later in the day. Still a small chance for a storm Friday with temperatures in the lower 80s. Then our temperatures jump up for the weekend. High Saturday, low to mid 90s. Heat index values will be over 100 degrees. Plenty of sunshine into Sunday, one of the warmer days with highs in the mid 90s. A heat index value close to 105. Monday, we still hold on to the 90s with mostly sunny skies and those heat index values above 100. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
64 degrees at 612.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Erik Bilstad.
Erik along with Telly Hughes. Telly's back in for Vince Vitrano. Vince returns on Monday. It's a big day today, Telly.
Yes, it is.
Big day today.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
So Summerfest kicks off. And I don't know if you knew this about Telly, but Telly's a big Def Leppard guy.
Hey, man.
You've been
How do you not get fired up for this song? Come on.
You've been talking about Def Leppard for a week now. Every time I see you, hey, are you going to the show?
I'm really thinking about it, to be honest.
Nice.
I've never been to a Def Leppard show, and let's be real, I'm sure they have far more shows behind them than in front of them, so I might need to get to it.
So Def Leppard is the headliner tonight on the first night of Summerfest. Tesla's the special guest there, so that's a twofer for you. Also tonight, what do we got here? Natasha Bedingfield is at the Briggs stage. Uline's got the Allman Betts Band. Bone Thugs were supposed to come, but unfortunately they had to cancel. Isley Brothers are playing the BMO, so got lots of choices tonight
Isley?
at
Wow,
Summerfest.
okay.
So you got that tonight. Then also happening today, today's Juneteenth. So June 19th, federal holiday, so no mail today. The markets are closed, and one of the largest, if not the oldest, Juneteenth celebrations is right here in the city. The parade steps off here in just a couple hours.
Yes, absolutely. And Eric, this is something that was new to me once I moved to Milwaukee, because in other cities that I had lived in, they never really celebrated Juneteenth the way Milwaukee has. And you're absolutely right. And I mean, we really should do a little more research on it. But I believe Milwaukee might be the city that has the longest celebration of Juneteenth in history, because they've just been celebrating it for so long. I think this is the 52nd or 54th year. I'm not sure, but there aren't too many other cities in this country that could say that they have been celebrating Juneteenth for that long.
Have you done the parade? You have, right? You did
I
the parade?
have, yes. I was involved in it for the first time 2 years ago, and I did it once again last year. And it had grown from 2 years ago to last year. And it's a great time, though, and it's really good to see the entire city come out. And it's not just a racial or ethnicity holiday. That's the one thing that I think people really need to understand. And it's for everyone to come down, if you don't know about it, to come and get educated about what's going on. And but there are so many vendors. And I mean, if you're looking for any and every kind of food option, that is the place for you today.
So we got Juneteenth taking place. 9 o'clock is when the parade steps off. And then we also have Summerfest. So big day in Milwaukee. Sports in a minute.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Summer's officially here, and Fleet Farm's ready to go with unbeatable outdoor deals. Stock up on 24 packs of Fleet Farm bottled water. On sale now, just 2 for $5. Get 20 pounds of Bear Mountain barbecue pellets for $7.99 a bag. And spruce up your yard with bags of Superior Weed and Feed for just $19.99. Whether you're grilling or chilling, get what you need at the best prices guaranteed this summer at Fleet Farm. And check out all our deals at fleetfarm.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
In sports, former Packer Jair Alexander has signed a 1-year, $6 million deal with the Baltimore Ravens, reuniting Alexander with his close friend and former college teammate and MVP Lamar Jackson. Jair's father, Landis, who has been rather active on social media the last few weeks, joined Cal, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin to shed some light on the timing of the former All-Pros release.
We love those guys. We love that team. We love that city, man. Nah, it's not that. We're going to play everybody the same. It's going to be hard. And the other biggest thing is that Green Bay let him go when he was feeling his best. I promise you that he is in better condition than he's been since 2018.
And that's been the problem, because he hasn't been healthy. Alexander is feeling good now, but has only played in just 34 of the possible 68 games since the start of the 2021 season. Game 2 of the Brewers and Cubs 3-game series was a washout in Chicago on Wednesday. That game has been rescheduled for August 18th. We'll get to that in a little bit. Brewers phenom Jacob Misiorowski was slated to pitch yesterday, and it has yet to be determined if his start will be pushed back to today or if his spot in the rotation will be skipped this time around. First pitch from Wrigley Field is set for 1:20. Now, both the Cubs and White Sox were at home in Chicago yesterday, and both were rained out. The White Sox are scheduled to play a doubleheader today, and the forecast says it's 80 degrees and sunny all day. So they're going to get that doubleheader in against the Cardinals, while the Brewers and Cubs will play a split doubleheader on August 18th.
So why not just crank out the doubleheader today
and get it over with, because we were looking at that stretch in the Brewers' schedule, and they don't have an off day for 16 or 17 days. And they're going to play 5 games in 4 days in Chicago during that series. So, not understanding the schedule makers. That series is
going to matter, too.
Oh, it's so going to matter, and you know that, too. So, we'll definitely have more on that. And finally, the Oklahoma City Thunder look to clinch the series in Game 6 of the NBA Finals in Indianapolis tonight. OKC took a 3-2 series lead with a 120-109 Game 5 win. Pacers star and Oshkosh native Tyrese Halliburton will be a game-time decision after suffering a calf strain.
We'll have to ask Matt Arnold. Matt Arnold's our guest today for Brewers 360 at 8:45. We'll get his take on all that schedule shenanigans. 6:19.
We see you out there building a life you love, knowing that when inspiration strikes, nothing should get in your way. At Blaine's, we're here to help with everything you need to make it happen at prices that make it possible. Like $80 off 192-piece DeWalt Mechanics tool sets, Milwaukee job site backpacks $89.99, Little Giant rubber utility mats 15% off. Plus, we offer Blaine's best price promise, guaranteeing the lowest price with us or we'll match it. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on June 24th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they take on the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third down.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in June 24th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. Early bird discount extended until June 30th. Tickets at eaa.org/tickets. An unforgettable week, July 21st through the 27th. All the only in Oshkosh moments. A week full of endless possibilities. Daily air shows, world-class performers, historic aircraft displays, hands-on activities for all ages. 18 and under get in free thanks in part to the Boeing Company. Don't wait. Lock in with the early bird pricing extension today at eaa.org/tickets.
Unfortunately, violence is on the rise in Milwaukee, and this is a problem which impacts us all. But together we can make a difference. Please join me and the 620 WTMJ team on Saturday, July 12th from 9 a.m. to noon for our 3rd annual Walk Against Violence, supported by 1MKE. Now it's time to bring an end to the senseless violence in our community and to encourage a safer Milwaukee for us all. To join our Walk Against Violence on Saturday, July 12th, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Traffic with Debbie Lazga at 6:21.
Still looking good right now. Northbound on 41 is the only spot where we're seeing any kind of delays. We've just got a quick tap of the brakes between North Avenue and Burleigh. Otherwise, everything else is rolling along fine. No other incidents. I'm Debbie Lazga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
And in weather today, clouds early on, mostly sunny with a slight chance of rain with a high of 80. Tomorrow, Friday, again, partly cloudy, slight chance of rain, 82. And this weekend, it is going to be hot. Hot, hot, hot. Saturday, high of 93, heat index 103. Sunday, 95 high, heat index 105. And going into early next week, Monday, hot again, high 93, heat index 102. So triple digits coming up this weekend.
Forecast sponsored by Big Fish Contracting. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to see how they're renovating homes and redeeming an industry. It's 622. Jack Mannequin playing the Generac Power Stage tonight at Summerfest. That's right, Summerfest is here. It always kind of sneaks up on you that first weekend.
Yes, it does.
Overnight in the Middle East. More launches of missiles, more explosions in Iran and in Israel. Israel sustaining some serious damage, especially to a hospital in the southern portion of the country. The last few hours, more from CBS's I want to make sure I got Jared Hill here.
Both countries launched more strikes overnight. Iran State TV confirmed that Israel hit a heavy water reactor used in nuclear production. Israel says a medical building was hit by an Iranian missile. Yesterday, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed to win in the end. Iran's supreme leader said his nation will not surrender, and he threatened irreparable damage if the U.S. gets involved. American officials say Iran has prepared to retaliate with strikes on American bases in the Middle East.
Yeah, Iran is pushing back when they saw these comments from President Trump that basically said, hey, you better surrender, unconditional surrender. That didn't go over very well.
No.
Iran's supreme leader has rejected President Trump's demand for an unconditional surrender. Iran's deputy foreign minister warning of retaliation.
If the Americans decide to get involved militarily, we have no choice but to retaliate wherever we find the targets necessary to be acted upon. So that is clear and simple. Because we are acting in self-defense.
That report from ABC News. So we do know that the president has been briefed on military operations in the White House Situation Room. We do know that some Americans have been evacuated from the embassy in Israel as well. And lawmakers weighing in on this. See, one of the big questions here is, well, does the president even have the ability to act in this manner? Congress should be able to give the okay on an act of war. So if America was to go ahead and drop that bunker buster, which we have the capability of dropping a large bunker buster type bomb or bombs on this nuclear facility, which is underground, then the president needs to do that with the okay from Congress.
Yes, but Eric, let's be real. President Trump has done a lot of things that other presidents have not done and overstepped bounds that many people don't feel like he is allowed to overstep. But when you look at this situation and you look back at his first term, there were times and there was information that came out after his presidency that he came close to going to war several times. And so now he has a second chance to make that decision. We don't know if he regret not doing things his first term and saying that, okay, this time around, I am going to be more assertive when it comes to these type of decisions. So when he says that he's weighing his options, that is almost as scary as the fact that we may actually get involved in this.
Lawmakers are trying to get in front of it as well.
On Capitol Hill, debate intensifying over possible U.S. involvement. Top Democrats saying President Trump must consult Congress and seek authorization if he's considering taking the country to war against Iran. While Republican Senator Lindsey Graham showing support for military action, saying Trump should finish the job.
It would be interesting to find out what the pulse of the American people is on this, whether or not they have this interest in getting involved in more conflict in the Middle East, because this is something that over the last 20 plus years, this century, basically, a lot of Americans have grown weary on.
Yes.
Spent a lot of time in Afghanistan, in Iraq, and now to deal with this, the situation with Hamas. So there's a lot going on there that I think Americans would rather not be in the middle of.
Yes, and it just seems like it's never over. When we thought that troops were out, we were taking troops out of Afghanistan, that the war was over, but it just seemed like years and years keep going, and we still have troops over there. So, again, this is something that is so serious, and you go from a president saying, I will have the war between Ukraine and Russia over in 24 hours to another war that's about to get started. And now you're going to get involved in that. So it's too many conflicts going on at once. But we know that this president, he doesn't mind having a lot of fires going at one time.
Just need to know what the end game is.
Yes.
Got to have a plan. News about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The markets are closed today. Today is Juneteenth, federal holiday, so no trading on Wall Street today. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Living life migraine-free and keeping those powerful prescription meds on the shelf. Vince Vitrano here talking with my chiropractor, Dr. Alex Young from Connect Chiropractic. Doc, I know a lot of folks come to you, like I did, back pain or neck pain, but these can be symptoms that are also related to what causes migraines, right?
Absolutely. A lot of times there's a structural component, there's a neurological component to it. So when someone comes in with headaches, comes in with migraines, we're not just looking at one part of the body. We're looking at the whole body, find the root cause, and make sure we get to the source of the problem.
Well, so glad to have with us one of my fellow patients at Connect Chiropractic. Tira is with us. And Tira, you suffered from migraines your whole life?
Yes, since I can remember, I've had debilitating migraines, like my entire life. Days I couldn't get out of the bed, even had to call into work some days because I just couldn't tolerate it. Folks who don't suffer from migraines don't really understand how bad it can be, right? Yeah, I mean, it affects your whole life, your mood, your sleep, everything. It's distraught.
So what brought you to Connect Chiropractic?
So I was referred by a friend, and I just thought that I would give it a try. Honestly, I thought they were just back doctors, so I didn't think at first that migraines were going to be something that was going to end up being my biggest takeaway that I got relief from. And since I've been coming, it's just been life-changing, honestly.
Tell me about how you're doing right now.
I'm doing great. So it only took a few adjustments for me personally when I started feeling relief. But once I did, not just fewer migraines, my sleep improved, my energy was better. And then honestly, I just felt like an overall shift in my life and my health. Everything just got better over time.
Dr. Alex, best part of this, unlike medication, this isn't just relieving symptoms. This is getting at the root cause of the problem.
Absolutely. We're not just taking the batteries out of the fire alarm. I always like to say we're actually finding that fire, putting that fire out, and then helping rebuild things. So it's a process, but we're getting your health back on track.
Connect Chiropractic in Delafield, Wauwatosa, and now in Oak Creek. Get started at goconnectchiro.com.
6:30, I'm Erik Bilstad. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Our top story, shuffling court dates in Milwaukee County.
I'm Telly Hughes, a Pewaukee native still on the run.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Still looking pretty good out on the roads. A little bit slow on 41 northbound from about Mayfair Road all the way up towards Burleigh. Other than that, everything else is looking just fine. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Clouds early on, then becoming mostly sunny with a slight chance for rain. A high of 80 today. Tonight, clear sky and a low of 65. Should be a pretty nice day. Right now, 64 at WTMJ.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. Apartment buildings near Tel Aviv destroyed. A hospital hit in southern Israel as Iran hit civilian targets this morning, wounding 40. Israel attacked an inactive Iranian nuclear reactor, still hoping for the U.S. bunker buster bomb to penetrate the main nuclear facility. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio.
In the White House Situation Room, sources say Trump was briefed on military operations for striking Iran, including a plan to destroy Iran's Fordo nuclear facility deep inside a mountain using a weapon only the U.S. has.
Iran is sending its foreign minister to meet with the European counterparts tomorrow in Geneva. In Israel's other war, the Gaza Health Ministry says 12 people have been killed this morning trying to reach aid distribution sites. Mud and rock slides have rendered I-40 impassable through the Great Smoky Mountains. Hurricane warning for Acapulco. Erik, now a Category 4. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, there's been a change in the sentencing date for Maxwell Anderson. Anderson's convicted now and looking at a maximum penalty life in prison without the possibility of parole in the death of 19-year-old Sade Robinson. His sentencing has now been moved to August 1st. Originally, it was set for August 15th. They've moved it up 2 weeks now.
The start of a high-profile trial involving a Milwaukee County judge has been delayed as well. Judge Hannah Dugan is charged with obstruction for helping an undocumented immigrant evade ICE agents at the Milwaukee County Courthouse in April. The federal judge first wants to resolve Dugan's motion to dismiss the charges. Her legal team is claiming judicial immunity. Dugan's trial was originally set for July 21st. Judge Lynn Adelman has not yet assigned a new trial date. Dugan is due back in court on July 9th for a status conference.
To the search for Travis Decker. Washington State Wilderness. Decker, a Pewaukee native accused of killing his 3 young daughters. Now, former Army and survival expert Luke Dill on Wisconsin's Afternoon News says that sooner or later, Decker is going to be found.
I believe it's a matter of time for them. Either A, they find him, or B, he's probably going to stay out there until he dies. That would be an assumption of mine, because you could imagine someone like that probably doesn't want to face the consequences of their action.
Dill says Decker needs to rely on making fires, and that heat signature will be helpful for authorities to help capture him when they find him.
Another company is setting its sights on Wisconsin. Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce President Dale Kuinga tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News why companies like Yaskawa are moving and establishing operations in the area.
This healthy manufacturing economy with automation, robotics, AI, that's here. So we're still the highest per capita in the nation with manufacturing jobs. And now you see a Japanese company saying we're going to invest over $180 million.
Wow.
With nearly close to 700 new jobs in Franklin. This will be great. And these type of investments attract other investments.
Coinga says Yaskawa plans to move their headquarters from Waukegan, Illinois to Franklin over the next 10 years.
Gentlemen and ladies, start your bicycles. It's 11 days of nonstop cycling action for Tour of America's Dairyland. Co-founder and executive director Bill Koch on WTMJ says the races bring cyclists from all across the country here to Wisconsin.
We usually have about 1,000 unique riders, and they'll race. If you think about the fact that one rider may race all 11 days, so we'll generally have somewhere between 5,000 and 5,500 rider races over the course of those 11 days.
The tour begins today in Janesville at the town square there. It's going to be in West Allis tomorrow. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 6:34. Traffic sponsored by the shower remodel experts at KohlerServicesWI.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or two with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Coming up, the ground shook the southern tip of Texas overnight.
What if you could lose up to 1 pound of fat every single day at Milwaukee Weight Loss? They've got the secret, and it's helping people shed serious weight fast. Hey, it's Steve Scavini from WTMJ. I've been on the Milwaukee Weight Loss program since January and currently in the maintenance phase after losing, get this, 40 pounds. It was fast, easy, and safe, and I'm sticking with the incredible team at Milwaukee Weight Loss to keep the weight off. Their doctor-developed, easy-to-follow program helps people lose weight naturally and safely with no drugs, no risky injections, no meal kits, no shakes, no exercise required. It's not just about losing weight. It's about resetting your metabolism to keep it off for good with personal coaching every step of the way. And guess what? Their program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in just a month or two, up to 1 pound of fat a day. Book your free consultation now at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com or call 262-449-1180. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to AdventKnows.com.
You know, most mulch is reclaimed from landfills, but Erickson's mulch is ground from whole trees. Yep, we process the mulch ourselves to keep the prices nice and low and use only premium colorant so the beautiful look of new mulch lasts. At Erickson's, we never skimp, and that's why first-time shoppers become repeat customers. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. How do we keep our prices so low? That's easy. We've removed the middlemen. Yep, most landscape suppliers have a couple of them in there, and that's okay. But each one of those men in the middle means a higher cost for your mulch, decorative stone, flagstone, and boulders. Feel free to check around. For the quality of our products, you won't find better prices. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 6:37.
This former Packers father has a lot to say about his time in Green Bay. That story at 6:45. That's how it sounded in Texas overnight. Starship sitting on a test stand at the SpaceX facility went into flames, exploding.
In preparation for its 10th spaceflight, Starship was sitting on a test stand at the SpaceX facility on the South Texas coast. Just after 11 p.m., a small plume of smoke spat from an upper section of the rocket, and moments later, video taken by space enthusiasts about 2 miles away captured a massive explosion. Both SpaceX and the Brownsville Fire Department say nobody was hurt. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
So it's being characterized as a major anomaly. I guess that's fair. It's basically what it was with SpaceX. Then there's this news, Telly. Honda, the car maker, is the latest now to get into the space business.
Wow.
The company says it successfully launched a reusable rocket up to 1,000 feet and then landed it Project still's a long way to go. It's only up there for a minute. And they're saying that they're not looking to blast humans into the sky, but they want to be able to get data systems into space. So Honda now building rockets.
Don't we have enough to deal with on Earth? Why are we so fascinated and spend so much money trying to do things in space?
You sound like the Spaniards way back when. Why are we crossing the Atlantic? There's no reason. The Earth is flat.
No, I'm sure there are a lot of reasons why this type of research and things need to be done.
Like how you're justifying
But
it.
again, I just look at all this money that is spent on SpaceX. There's so many other things that could be done with that money. That's all I'm saying.
All right, fair enough. 6:39, Everyday Hero in a minute.
Welcome back to Ask Hassleus.
How do you get pee out of an old mattress?
By trading in that old mattress for a new Beauty Rest or Sealy Posturepedic.
But that'll cost a lot of money.
Not at Hassleus Mattress. Through Monday, trade in your old mattress and get additional savings of $248 off a queen and $348 off a king. Plus, next day delivery and haul away of the old mattress for pee.
What was that?
Sorry, I meant for free.
Sure you did.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hassleus.com.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi, and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handle all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia problems, cognitive decline. It's their specialty. They're great at it. And they also offer early memory loss classes. They can help your loved one with locations throughout our state, many here in southeast Wisconsin. I've been in their facilities. They're top notch. It's kindness at the core. It's compassion and empathy at Azura. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Traffic is sponsored by Richlands Tire and Service Center.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
6:41. Hi, Debbie Lazaga.
Hey there. Looking actually really good out on the roads right now. Not seeing really any kind of incidents to slow you down. Northbound 41, a little bit tight right around the North Avenue curve, and then from Capitol Drive, driving north towards Hampton, but again, nothing major to slow you down. A couple of broken down vehicles here and there, like northbound 43 just north of Hampton, out of traffic, that one. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Nice temperatures for today as highs will climb from the 60s and 70s this morning to around 80 this afternoon. Small chance for an isolated shower or storm, but overall staying dry with more sunshine later in the day. Still a small chance for a storm Friday with temperatures in the lower 80s. Then our temperatures jump up for the weekend. Highs Saturday, low to mid 90s. Heat index values will be over 100 degrees. Plenty of sunshine into Sunday, one of the warmer days with highs in the mid-90s, a heat index value close to 105. Monday, we still hold on to the 90s with mostly sunny skies and those heat index values above 100. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
64 degrees at 6:42. Time to honor ourselves an everyday hero. Everyday Hero is when Wisconsin's Morning News celebrates and identifies an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Hero is sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Azura Memory Care. We head to South Jersey, Barrington. South Jersey, Nyla Bennett. She's a 14-year-old girl. She's out playing basketball with her friends at the park. This is along the Delaware River. She's playing some ball, having a good time, when she hears some commotion.
I didn't know what was happening.
but I knew something was wrong.
Yeah, she could tell that it wasn't right. You know, when you can just hear that sound, that screams, and something isn't right. She could tell. She tells NBC 10 News that she knew something was wrong, enough to run over to where this area was. So they run over. They're on the shore now by one of the boat launches, and she sees a 9-year-old boy who had been playing with friends. He had fallen into the Delaware River. And the kids were all starting to panic because the kid's floating away there, and he's having a trouble staying above the water. She could tell that the boy was also starting to panic.
I really wasn't thinking in the moment. I just knew in my mind, I was thinking he's drowning. And so I just dove right in there. When I seen all the commotion and everyone screaming, there wasn't really many thoughts going through my head other than was to help that little boy.
Yeah, she says all she could see were his hands out of the water. That's when she knew that she had to go in there. So you heard her say she just dove right in, clothes and all, shoes, everything. Just jumped into the water, grabs the kid, holds him. She's starting to keep him calm. You know how that can be a thing too, especially in the water when someone's starting to panic. Holds him, keeps him calm. Boater nearby comes over and grabs them both, pulls them into the boat. There's no question that this boy would not have survived given the situation. Nyla's mother.
I'm so proud of her. I mean, she came home. It's like, Mom, don't be mad. I lost my watch. You know, it died on her. I said, I'll get you another watch. I'll get you another pair of sneakers. It's replaceable. The kid is not replaceable.
No, he's not. But he's alive today because of this girl. How about that? So how does Nyla feel about what she did?
I was very shocked after it happened because it all happened so quick and I wasn't thinking. And after it happened, I just couldn't believe that it actually happened. Like, I was shocked.
Yeah, shocked and thankful that everything worked out. Thank you, little Nyla, 14 years old, jumping into a river. Didn't even think twice about it.
That is awesome. And what's more important, she did not pull her phone out.
Right, yes.
She dove in action and not just pulled her phone out. So kudos to her. That is awesome.
We should help buy her a new pair of shoes, too. That's fine.
Yeah.
No problem. They can be replaced. Thank you, Nyla, for being an everyday hero. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
The Cane Table from Penny Mustard is more than just a table.
It's hosted countless brunches and long conversations with friends.
It's served as an emergency office on snow days or when the kids come down with the croup.
It's seen its fair share of crumbs between the leaves.
Or drool from the dog waiting for food to drop.
The Cane Table is made for signing important documents.
Holding family meetings.
And painstakingly piecing together puzzles.
It's headquarters for homework.
Craft projects.
Board games.
And the wrapping of various gifts.
The Cane's Encore chairs have been used to relax.
To build blanket forts.
Or to help reach something on the back of the top shelf.
It's not about food.
It's about memories.
So it's gotta last.
It's made in the Midwest. So it will.
For generations to come.
The Cane Dining Room Table with 6 Encore chairs starting at $61.97 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Former Packer Jair Alexander has signed a 1-year, $6 million deal with the Baltimore Ravens, reuniting Alexander with his close friend and former college teammate Lamar Jackson. Jair's father, Landis, who has been rather active on social media the last few weeks, joined Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin to shed some light on the timing of the former All-Pros release.
We love those guys. We love that team. We love that city, man. Nah, it's not that. We're going to play everybody the same. It's going to be hard. And the other biggest thing is that Green Bay let him go when he was feeling his best. I promise you that he is in better condition than he's been since 2018.
Alexander may be feeling his best now, but has only played in just 34 of a possible 68 games since the start of the 2021 season. In baseball, Game 2 of the Brewers and Cubs 3-game series was a washout in Chicago on Wednesday. That game has been rescheduled for August 18th. Brewers phenom Jacob Misiorowski was slated to pitch yesterday, and it has yet to be determined if he will start today or if his spot in the rotation will be skipped this time around. First pitch from Wrigley Field is set for 1:20. And in basketball, the NBA Finals will continue tonight. The Oklahoma City Thunder look to clinch the series in Game 6. In Indianapolis tonight, OKC took a 3-2 series lead with a 120-109 Game 5 win. Pacer star and Oshkosh native Tyrese Halliburton will be a game-time decision after suffering a calf strain.
So the White Sox are also playing in Chicago today.
Correct. Yes, to go back to the doubleheader. So yesterday, and I was telling you before the show, I was in Chicago yesterday, and I was watching the news, and they said both the White Sox and Cubs are rained out today.
Yeah.
And the White Sox will play a doubleheader tomorrow, which is today, against the Cardinals, back-to-back. And the Brewers and Cubs will have a split doubleheader on August 18th, which means they'll play a game at 1:05 and then come back and play one at 7:05.
Yeah, so they can clear the stadium and then resell the tickets.
Yes,
and all that.
but that's on top of the fact that was already a 4-game series in Chicago. So now that's going to be 5 games in 4 days, and that's a stretch where the Brewers will play 16 consecutive days. Yeah.
Curious. We'll have to ask Matt Arnold about that.
We definitely going to ask Matt Arnold about that.
That's at 8:45 today for Brewers 360. 6:49.
Don't miss the largest vacation sale in the nation coming this July. It's Fox World Travel's exclusive July sale with Apple Vacations and Celebrity Cruises. July is the best time of the year for unbeatable deals you won't get anywhere else. Get the hottest cruise deals or plan ahead for 2026 all-inclusive resorts paired with nonstop flights. Let Fox World Travel book your vacation and secure your reservation with just a deposit. Visit foxworldtravel.com/July and get on the exclusive list. Sale starts soon.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. Usually if someone says, hey, how you feeling? You say, oh, I'm feeling good. Yeah, fine. But then when they ask you again, so, but how are you really feeling? Then you start thinking, oh, well, my knees do hurt. My back is constantly barking at me. Then you realize, you know what? I'm not feeling all that good. And that's why you need to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics, revolutionary treatment that works to give your body long-term relief so you don't always have to deal with the knee pain all the time, the hip, the back that constantly is there nagging at you and preventing you from enjoying your time, enjoying your life. Call QC Kinetics today. They got spots in Mequon. They have another one in Greenfield. It's 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics and sit down with Dr. Justine Bennon, and she'll walk you through the process. She'll tell you how she can make you feel better without using a knife, without having downtime, without a bunch of painkillers. QC Kinetics can help you get your life back. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Does your home's landscaping feel a little dated? Maybe the shrubs are overgrown or the flower beds have lost their spark. You don't need to start from scratch to make a huge impact. Landworks Wisconsin can breathe new life into your property with a professional garden renovation. The designers will work with you to refresh your plantings, redefine your garden beds, and restore your home's curb appeal. And while they're upgrading, maybe think about permanent holiday lighting. Give your garden the makeover it deserves. Visit the teams I trust at landworkswisconsin.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
And a good Thursday morning to you, Debbie Lasco.
Right back at you. We've actually got a great ride shaping up. A little bit more delays out there now that there are more cars out there. Northbound 43 from North Avenue up towards Keefe. Northbound 41 backing up from Mayfair Road all the way up past Capitol. On the southbound side, that's actually looking pretty good right now. East and westbound 94, no major problems there. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
In weather today, it's going to start off pretty cloudy, but mostly sunny as the day goes on. A slight chance of rain with a high of 80. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, slight chance of rain once again with a high of 82. And this weekend, it will be hot with the heat index reaching 103 on Saturday, 105 on Sunday, and 102 on Monday.
Right now in Milwaukee, it's 64 degrees. Your forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition.
In my arms, in my mind, all the time. I wanna keep you right on my side till I die.
Bow Wow plays tonight at Summerfest. It always seems to sneak up on you, but the big gig begins today along the lakefront. First weekend of Summerfest.
I got to get my tickets, Eric.
Telly's already decided he's going to see Def Leppard tonight.
Yeah.
Looking forward to hearing about that show.
There's a lot of great opening acts tonight to kick off Summerfest, and I'm excited.
Gary Clark Jr., you going to see that show? 10:15 start tonight.
Yes, well, that's going to be a tough one.
You can handle it. Come on now.
But I do really, really like Gary Clark Jr., though. So, that's going to be a tough one.
So we are now officially into the summer, right? So it's June 19th. It's almost the 20th. We get into the summer months here the next few months, obviously. And it's going to feel like that. That means not only are you seeing the shows or walking in the parades, but you're also enjoying the lake. Well, with the weather finally turning, there's one activity that's undoubtedly the king of Wisconsin summers. That's boating. In this month's Driver's Ed with Debbie, we take a look at how we can all be safer on the water.
If you're anything like me, you're just itching to hit the beautiful waters of Wisconsin this summer. Whether you're cruising on a pontoon, zipping on a speedboat, water skiing, or out for just a nice paddle, getting out on the lakes is what summer's all about. But before you launch into full-on fun mode, we should go over a little boater safety. To get the real scoop on staying safe on the waters, I caught up with one of the DNR's conservation wardens, Lieutenant Nick Miofsky, and he's really seen it all out there. Like one of the most common boat blunders, not wearing those life jackets.
If you're going to be out on the water, especially as a boat operator, make sure your boat has the correct number of life jackets for everybody on board your boat. And make sure those life jackets are in good condition and make sure they're the right size and fit for everybody on the boat. So if you have children on the boat, make sure you have enough youth life jackets that are going to be the correct size and fit for those children as well as adults. And make sure they're accessible at all times. We advocate as wardens that you wear your life jacket at all times, but they just need to be on the boat and accessible for everybody.
So life jackets are not just a suggestion, they're a key piece of equipment. And before you say they're too bulky and uncomfortable,
there's a lot of new technology in life jackets as well. There's a lot of low profile type life jackets that if you see us out on the water, we always wear our life jackets, and they're a lot more low profile than those bulky life jackets.
And that goes for not only on motorboats, but also when you go out on a canoe or a paddleboard. By law, you need to have a life jacket with you at all times. So no more excuses. Just look for those low profile jackets that are designed for comfort. Another must-have on board, a fire extinguisher.
Any boat that has enclosed compartments in it that can get combustible gases in there needs to have a fire extinguisher on board. It's just good practice to have a fire extinguisher on board a boat at all times, and that's something that we do look for when we do our boat safety checks.
Hopefully you'll never need it, but if you do, you'll be glad it's there. He also mentioned securing your boat's battery and don't overload the boat. Always check your weight capacity for your vessel. Since Wisconsin waterways are truly legendary, they can get packed.
Obviously, weekends are a lot busier than weekdays, so we tend to see more of our boat accidents happen on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday time frame. So just being aware of that and being aware that it's a popular time to be out on the water and just be extra cautious. Another big thing is to check the weather before you go out. Weather can change rather quickly in Wisconsin, and just being aware of storms coming in, especially if you're on a bigger body of water.
And finally, if you're at the helm, there are some more important rules of the road. Water.
Anybody born after January 1st, 1989 would need to take a boater safety course. And that can be done online or in person. So it's a very easy course to take. And it's just like having a driver's license to operate a car. We're going to check for that. It is a violation if you're operating a boat without that boater safety certificate.
Remember, responsible boating means more fun for everybody. So grab those modern comfy life jackets, check your gear, be mindful of the crowds and the weather, and make sure you're properly certified. Then go out there and make some amazing summer memories safely. You can make a stop on WTMJ.com to get more details on some of the DNR rules. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
All right. Thank you, Debbie. 6:57 business headlines now, sponsored by the Horicon Bank. Together doing good. HoriconBank.com, the natural choice.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Milwaukee Forge's long-running plant in the Bayview area may have to close if the manufacturer does not find a suitable buyer soon. Mass layoff or the facility's closure could start as early as August 18th, affecting 67 employees. Retailer Home Group Inc. has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. At least 26 stores will be closed as part of the process, including the location on North Mayfair Road in Wauwatosa. Kyle Crum, one of Rockwell Automation's most high-profile Milwaukee-based tech executives, has left the company to launch a manufacturing investment firm and recently accepted a role at venture capital and advisory firm Momenta. I'm Addison Lathers for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Doing banking differently since 1896. Greg Matzik here for Horicon Bank. Think about that for a second. Over 100 years of focus on the community and your business. At Horicon Bank, financing requests can be approved in days, not weeks, because your banker understands you and your business. And yes, Horicon Bank is expanding, but they've not lost that community-minded feel. I trust Horicon Bank. I've connected with Horicon Bank, and I invite you to do the same. It's Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice, member FDIC.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
This isn't just a rivalry. It's Brewers Cubs, and it's going down today in Chicago.
Curveball struck him out swinging.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:35.
And Trevor McGill strikes out 3 to secure the series win.
We are the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7:01, I'm Erik Bilstad. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Thursday, June 19th. Our top story, a difficult decision to be made in Washington.
I'm Telly Hughes. Police bias concerns in Milwaukee.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, northbound on 43, slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue up towards Keefe, northbound 41 from Mayfair Road all the way up past Capitol Drive, almost to Hampton. Other than that, we're looking actually pretty good around the rest of the area. Just a few broken down vehicles here and there out of traffic. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Clouds early on, then sunny. There's a slight chance for rain, a high of 80. Tonight, clear, a low of 65. Right now, 66 degrees at 7:01. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Overnight, Iran firing more missiles across Israel, injuring dozens and significantly damaging one of its largest hospitals in southern Israel. In the U.S., President Trump says he's not ready to make a decision on any U.S. involvement in the fighting.
I have ideas as to what to do, but I haven't made a final. I like to make the final decision 1 second before it's due, because things change. I mean, especially with war. Things change with war. It can go from one extreme to the other.
The two countries have traded missile strikes for a week. It's estimated that at least 224 people have been killed in Iran and dozens in Israel.
Lawmakers in Washington are divided over possible U.S. involvement in the Israel-Iran conflict. Missouri Republican Senator Josh Hawley says he wants the U.S. to stay out of it.
I don't want to see us be bombing.
But Hawley's fellow Republican, Texas Senator Ted Cruz, says Israel isn't the only country whose national security is at stake.
It will make Americans substantially safer.
Democratic senators are leading a war powers resolution to block President Trump from using military force against Iran without a vote in Congress.
WTMJ exclusive now. The sheriff in Washington state leading the search for a man from Pewaukee accused of killing his 3 young daughters, says the FBI is now involved.
We're not ruling out any possibility where he could go.
Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison says there's still the possibility that Travis Decker's trying to get to Canada. The sheriff tells us the men and women on his team can match Decker's expertise in the outdoors.
I have a lot of individuals here that have way more training than him on the military field, and we're putting their knowledge base up against him as well. His training's not unique. He's not the only person that's ever gone through it.
The FBI is also now involved in the hunt for Decker. John Mercure, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee police want to use facial recognition technology as a new tool for solving crimes, but the plan is drawing strong criticism from city residents.
The technology would be used by police as a lead generator in criminal investigations. MPD Chief of Staff Heather Haw.
The Milwaukee Police Department intends to craft a policy that ensures there's no misuse of the technology.
But residents at Wednesday's Equal Rights Commission meeting expressed fear the policy would lead to misidentification and bias.
Technology that misidentifies people cannot be the foundation of our public safety.
MPD says they're able to set their own policies under provisions in Wisconsin Act 12. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The State Department of Health Services is fining Milwaukee Public Schools over lead cleanup.
The $5,500 fine is for violations of state code during the lead remediation work at 4 schools this spring and summer. They were also fined for repeated noncompliance and failure to follow earlier guidance. DHS said that instead of paying the fee to the state treasurer, MPS should reinvest the money into lead-safe renovations. MPS has until June 24th to answer questions about future renovation work. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
The Justice Department plans to cut hundreds of inspectors who monitor gun sales.
The investigators make sure federally licensed gun dealers don't sell to traffickers, criminals, or people with mental illness. The Trump administration will cut 541 of those 800 inspector jobs as it looks to downsize the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Many Republicans believe the inspections intrude on gun rights. Steve Dettelbach was ATF director during the Biden administration.
The mission of this agency, which is fighting violent crime, is wildly nonpartisan and bipartisan.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Coming up, this pop star's decision won't win any fans over. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
Start your weekend tonight with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, the most beautiful and affordable summer dining destination. WTMJ's John Mercure here, and I love the Fox and Hounds. It's a special place for our family. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free. Desserts and ice cream drinks, or buy one, get one free. I love the grasshopper, the Bailey's drink. Oh my gosh, buy one, get one free. Order a smothered sirloin, grilled salmon, the new beef short rib mac and cheese, pasta, a big fresh salad, any entree, your second dinner is free. 7 nights a week. Relax with a cold beverage on the patio in the woods, then your free dinner in one of the 8 beautiful, unique dining rooms. The award-winning Fox and Hound Supper Club, just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. The drive through the Kettle Moraine is a Wisconsin summer must-see. Weekends might be too busy? Check out your free dinner tonight. Don't cook, go out for drinks and a free delicious dinner. Tables are open. Check it out. It's my favorite place. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Sarah, how are you going to do a raised vegetable garden on this tiny condo balcony?
Grab that Craftsman drill and let's hang that trellis on the ceiling.
We've got the value you need, like $3 off Technor Apex Zero-G garden hoses, 20% off all Fram oil filters, plus Blaine's best price promise. Find the lowest price with us or we'll match it.
Upside down tomatoes, here we come.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 7:07.
So why can the Southsiders have a doubleheader today, but not the Northsiders? We explain at 7:15.
Today is Juneteenth, which commemorates the day the last group of enslaved people found out they had been freed. Milwaukee first held a Juneteenth celebration in 1971. The city is also home to the very story of abolitionism that led to the creation of the Republican Party in Ripon. Local filmmaker Michael Jarr tells WTMJ's What's on Tap about the man who escaped Racine from slavery.
His slave owner never stopped tracking him down. And he found him in Racine. He came up to Milwaukee, went to the courthouse, got a warrant for Joshua Glover's arrest, and put together a posse with a couple of U.S. deputy marshals. They ended up beating Joshua Glover, tossing him in a jail cell.
Thousands then rallied to his aid using a construction beam from Cathedral Square to break into the jail. Jarr is raising money to turn his mini-documentary, Liberty at Stake, the Joshua Glover story, into a full film.
The Juneteenth parade kicks off at 9 o'clock this morning in Milwaukee. It's also Summerfest starting today. The gates open at noon, and there's a local team making sure every second of Summerfest looks flawless.
The music's live at Summerfest, and Mind Pool's making sure you see every second. President and owner of Mind Pool, Josh Adams.
You know, when the crowds start getting thick and you can't get close to the stage, that's when we really start to provide an opportunity for people to get that kind of up-close and personal experience with the band in an artful way.
From LED walls to live camera feeds, Mind Pool handles everything fans see on the big screens.
I've been to dozens and dozens, maybe hundreds of festivals around the world, and this is easily the most clean, purpose-built, comfortable festival I've ever been to.
Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
A pop superstar may be making an unpopular decision.
Sabrina Carpenter may be asking her fans to put the phones away. The singer tells Rolling Stone she knows it may make some mad, but she's considering banning them during her shows. The impetus? Carpenter says she saw Silk Sonic in Vegas. They locked phones in pouches for the duration of the concert, and she's never had a better experience. She says she felt genuinely present, with everyone singing, dancing, looking at each other, and laughing. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
It is a pretty simple procedure. They do it for comedians all the time.
Yes.
Where you put it in this little pouch and then they open it up for you at the end of the show. So maybe you do that for a pop show if you want.
I don't mind that. I really don't, because it does make you more present and you're not so concerned about taking pictures and doing things.
But I need to prove I was at the Sabrina show.
To who?
And I got to have like my special fun coat on and like, look at me, I'm with my daughter.
Hey, as they say, if you don't post it, it didn't happen. And
see, that's my point. 7-Eleven. Hey, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
You are the cream to fill my cream box.
I hope they like each other.
Boat race.
The sun and the moon and the earth have become one, and so have we.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
Welcome back to Ask Hassleus.
How do you get pee out of an old mattress?
By trading in that old mattress for a new Beautyrest or Sealy Posturepedic.
But that'll cost a lot of money.
Not at Hassleus Mattress. Through Monday, trade in your old mattress and get additional savings of $248 off a queen and $348 off a king. Plus, next day delivery and haul away of the old mattress for pee.
What was that?
Sorry, I meant for free.
Sure you did.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hassleus.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
Enjoy the new all-you-can-eat Saturday breakfast buffet from 8 a.m. till noon for under $10 at the Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford. Just walk on in. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the Mineshaft.
Hey, Debbie Lazaga.
Hey, Erik. We've got actually a pretty good ride shaping up. We got northbound 43 slowing down just a little bit right around the North Avenue curve up towards Keefe. And the other heavy spot is going to be northbound 41 from just north of Mayfair Road all the way up to Capitol Drive. We do have a couple of broken down vehicles on northbound 41 right near the Zoo interchange. That's something to keep in mind. They're off on the right shoulder, though, so it's not really going to be causing too much of an issue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Nice temperatures for today as highs will climb from the 60s and 70s this morning to around 80 this afternoon. Small chance for an isolated shower or storm, but overall staying dry with more sunshine later in the day. Still a small chance for a storm Friday with temperatures in the lower 80s. Then our temperatures jump up for the weekend. Highs Saturday, low to mid 90s. Heat index values will be over 100 degrees. Plenty of sunshine into Sunday, one of the warmer days with highs in the mid-90s, a heat index value close to 105. Monday, we still hold on to the 90s with mostly sunny skies and those heat index values above 100. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
66 at 7:13.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Erik Bilstad.
Yeah, get ready. It's coming. And it's going to come quickly. Here we go. Extreme heat. Going to get really hot, as you heard Tyler just mention there, the next few days.
The heat is locked in the southwest, but the story really is going to be that after today and tomorrow, the heat moves into the middle section of the country. We could be having excessive heat in portions of Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota for 4 days potentially, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, if not longer.
Yeah, so that is Andres Gutierrez. He's a CBS News meteorologist. David Parkinson there as well. And so we have a heat index of north of 100 starting Saturday through Monday. Could seep into Tuesday as well.
This heat is like Summerfest. It just hits you like out of nowhere. You're like, man, it was in the low 60s last weekend. Yes. Now you're talking about a 30-degree increase. We're going to be in the 90s this weekend.
Can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
Big fan
but
of
you say you're a fan of the heat.
I mean, obviously, stifling heat can get pretty brutal, but when you live here, any chance we can get to feel like legit summer and get a little bit of that, I'm all for it.
Yeah. I'm for it, but I'm for it when it's like in the mid 70s.
That's also nice.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
The 90s here and the humidity, and I mean because this place isn't built like Wisconsin is not made for high 90s and 100-degree weather. We're not.
I suppose that's true.
And but if I gotta have it for a few days, I'll take 100-degree heat index over 8 inches of snow any day of the week.
Fair enough. In Vegas, they're dealing with like 110, enough where like they're trying to figure out, okay, with these heat warnings in Vegas, we got to make sure tourists are smart.
They are cautioning anyone who comes out here to visit to make sure that they are properly hydrated, because you think about it, some folks may spend the whole day by the pool, start drinking, and that essentially ends up drawing water away from your system when you need it the most.
Yeah, they don't like you sitting by the pool all day just getting hammered, and then you're in this heat. So that's why they're trying to warn people, hey, drink some water, please.
Yeah.
7:16. Let's get to in sports. We'll do it in 1 minute.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Steve Scafidi. I've been on this weight loss journey since mid-January, and I'm currently in the maintenance phase, hitting my goal of losing, get this, 40 pounds. I reached my weight loss goal fast, easy, and safely, and I'm going to continue working with the wonderful team, Milwaukee Weight Loss.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Tyson's Home Farm Auto is coming to Ripon, and they'd love to have you on their team. Join them for open interviews on Tuesday, June 24th from 9 to 7 and Wednesday, June 25th from 9 to 5 at the Ripon Public Library, or apply online at theisens.com/careers.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Former Packer Jair Alexander has signed a one-year, $6 million deal with the Baltimore Ravens. Jair's father, Landis, who has been rather active on social media the last few weeks, joined Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin to shed some light on the timing of the former All-Pros release.
We love those guys. We love that team. We love that city, man. Nah, it's not that. We're going to play everybody the same. It's going to be hard. And the other biggest thing is that Green Bay let him go when he was feeling his best. I promise you that he is in better condition than he's been since 2018.
Well, he may be feeling his best now, but over the last 4 seasons, Jair Alexander has only played in 34 of a possible 68 games since the start of the 2021 season.
Got to play.
Yeah, got to play. You can't make $17.5 million and not play. So that's the deal. In baseball, Game 2 of the Brewers and Cubs 3-game series was a washout in Chicago on Wednesday. That game has been rescheduled for August 18th, and today they will wrap up the series in Chicago. First pitch from Wrigley Field is set for 1:20. Going back to the rescheduling of this game to August 18th, keep in mind the White Sox were at home yesterday as well and was postponed. They're going to play a doubleheader today against the Cardinals, and the Brewers and Cubs will play a split doubleheader on August 18th.
So when you play a split doubleheader, you make more money because you have all the tickets sold again for both games. Would the White Sox be doing this just because it's a team that wouldn't be rolling through Chicago again? It's the Cardinals. It's an NL team. They don't play all the time, whereas
no,
is that like what?
Honestly, Eric, I think because there's only about 500 people show up at those White Sox games, they don't need to let them go home and try to get them back. Like, just keep them there.
So we need as many people.
We need as many people as we can.
Ooh,
and with the Cubs and Brewers, that's going to be a sellout regardless.
Right.
When they play, they can play it at midnight. People are going to watch that game. But with the White Sox not being a very good team, I think they just wanted to go ahead and get these games in. But scheduling wise for the Brewers,
it's a money grab.
Oh, it's always a money grab.
And it screws the crew, doesn't it?
It screws them so much because they'll go through a stretch in August where they won't have an off day for almost 3 weeks. And you're talking about that's when pennant races really start to heat up in August and beginning of September. So that's going to be a very, very interesting stretch. And we have Matt Arnold coming up in the next hour. And
8:45. We'll ask him.
Yes. We're definitely going to ask him about that. And finally, the NBA Finals, Game 6 tonight. Oklahoma City looks to clinch the series in Indianapolis after they took a 3-2 series lead with a 120-109 Game 5 win. Pacer star and Oshkosh native Tyrese Halliburton will be a game-time decision after suffering a calf strain. And I'm just going to go out on a limb, Eric. If Halliburton isn't playing, I don't like the Pacers' chances, even though they are at home. And usually at home, you'll have some role player that steps up. But we saw what happened when Halliburton played and only had 4 points and did not have a field goal. Didn't work out well for the Pacers. So we'll see.
All right. 7:21. Who's ordering these pizzas? That story next.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on June 24th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they take on the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third down.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in June 24th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
The Census Bureau says more than 12,000 Americans turn 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. Some Annex clients retire early. Some keep working because they love it. You know why? Because they've got custom plans built by fee-only fiduciaries. They identified their wants and needs, and we went to work. We want to do the same for you. Annex does financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
For those with a warm weather fashion passion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Why settle for just the job when you could have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee new car dealer members have service, technician, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam new car dealer.
For current great paying job opportunities, visit adam.jobs. That's ADAMM.jobs.
All right, Debbie Lazaga, how are the roads looking?
Well, we've got just your usual delays. Northbound on 43 from Fond du Lac Avenue up towards Keefe. Northbound on 41 from Mayfair Road all the way up past Capitol Drive. And that is it. We're looking good otherwise. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Today, mostly sunny, slight chance of rain with a high of 80. Enjoy these 80s because that will be the case again tomorrow on Friday, a high of 82. I'm saying enjoy that now because this weekend it is going to be hot with heat indexes reaching 103 on Saturday, 105 on Sunday, and 102 on Monday.
Right now in Milwaukee, it's 7:23. It's 66 degrees in the forecast. Sponsored by Dave Drakamp Heating. Natasha Bedingfield plays the Briggs stage tonight at Summerfest. In Minnesota, a vigil held for Minnesota State lawmaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, who were shot and killed in an assassination last weekend in Minnesota. Of course, State Senator John Hoffman and his wife were also shot. They remain in the hospital as they continue to deal with the fallout from that violent shooting. So what happens now? A couple of things with security we want to get to, including here in Madison. But first, in Washington, D.C., someone is sending pizzas, and it's raising a security concern.
Sources tell ABC News multiple lawmakers, both Democrats and Republicans, along with U.S. Capitol Police leaders, have received unsolicited pizzas at their homes. The deliveries likely aimed at sending the message, "We know where you live." Capitol Police saying these recent pizza deliveries are troubling and yet again bring to light the heightened threat landscape we are living in.
So it's one of those reminders, too, that this is more than just a U.S. Capitol or a state Capitol situation as far as the security goes. Obviously, what happened in Minnesota was at these lawmakers' homes.
Yeah.
So now knowing, hey, we know where you're at, it's just a threat. And obviously, that's not sitting well with everybody here locally as well. So in Madison, they kind of got back to work yesterday a little bit. They had some sessions, so a lot of lawmakers were back in the Capitol building. And the Capitol in Madison is one of 11 across the country that does not have metal detectors. And there's question as to whether or not that is something that should be put into place now in the state Capitol building. Should we have metal detectors? There's been some back and forth on that as to whether or not that's something that should happen.
Do each of you feel confident that the security currently in the Capitol is enough, or do you want to see new measures put in place?
I feel safe in our Capitol building. I think we're going to continue to have conversations to make sure that everyone else feels safe as well.
That's Democratic State Senator Hesselbein there discussing, what should happen next. And she says she feels safe now, but obviously they want to consider to look into the matter.
Yeah, I am kind of baffled by this because you would have thought after January 6th that would be put in place. Metal detectors would be the very least that would be put in place in all state capitals in this country. And because we saw something that we never thought we would see. And just like she said, I feel safe now, but you only feel safe until something happens. And so I don't know, that to me seems like a very easy fix that would make me feel a little more at ease when I'm in that building.
Democratic Minority Leader in the State Assembly, Greta Neubauer, also spoke. And I thought it was interesting what she said. She knew the victims in Minnesota, and she also asked for a little bit of patience when it comes to how these lawmakers are going to deal with this.
I would also like to ask everyone to remember that these threats, even after the suspect has been apprehended, have had real impacts on the mental health of everyone affected. And we ask that you please respect the duress members and their families have been put through and extend understanding to them.
Just understanding that, like, some folks have already received threats or constantly are barked at or yelled at or get things in the mail that aren't nice. And when this happens to people they know, colleagues in another state that they've worked with before, it can really weigh on them. That was her point there. We'll end with this. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos, before they started their session on Wednesday, also addressed the group. I mean, he knew these lawmakers.
Michelle and I had the good fortune to spend quite a bit of time with Mark and Melissa since she was first elected as Speaker in 2019. She was funny and engaging and incredibly smart, and I will miss seeing her at NCSL.
Yeah, NCSL, that's the National Conference of State Legislatures. It's a bipartisan organization of state lawmakers from across the country. So they meet and talk about policy and how you can move things forward. And so he knew her specifically. He also brought this up, Voss did, about moving forward, aside from security, what else we can do.
Both political parties suffer from political intimidation, name-calling, and the risk of physical violence, and we owe it to those who elect us to be role models for civil discourse, not mouthpieces for the loudest and the most inflammatory voices. No matter who the president is, no matter our disagreements, no matter the tragedies that shake us to our core, we are still lucky to live in America.
It's Robin Voss speaking about the political discourse. Perhaps this will be what changes the tone locally and nationally.
I'm not sure about that, because this type of rhetoric has been going on for so long now that it has been normalized, and that was the biggest danger I felt like this country faced, all of us, when we start to normalize things that aren't normal, and that is extremely scary, in my opinion, if you're getting these deliveries and they do know who you are. I just can't imagine someone wanting to harm me just because I took an oath to do a job, and my decisions or my thoughts or beliefs have that much of an impact to drive you to want to harm me. That is just, to me, this is a very, very dangerous political climate that we're living in.
7:29 news about your money now. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The markets will be closed today in honor of Juneteenth. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, our weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market, how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. Sponsored by the original knowledge broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us today, Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, some mixed signals out there relative to the cost of insurance. I mean, it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. So explain to all of us, help us make sense of this marketplace.
Sure, Vince. Thanks. Great to be here again. The insurance market's showing divergent signals today, no doubt. Let me explain what's driving this. Some lines of insurance are performing well, others not so much. There's a whole variety of reasons behind it. Let's break it down. The good news first. For many buyers of property insurance, cybercrime, and workers' compensation, they're seeing price decreases over last year. Multiple years of rate increases in property are improving results. More companies are writing cyber insurance. For workers' compensation, the positive results just continue to come in. So let's talk about the not-so-good news. Auto insurance, general liability, and umbrella insurance are all trending higher than last year, largely because of attorney advertising and third-party litigation funding driving higher costs.
So can a market like this, Jeff, present an opportunity?
Vince, it's important you work with a partner that knows how to identify these opportunities, capitalize on them, and place you with an insurance company that best fits your needs.
So why should a business or a family work with R&R Insurance?
At R&R Insurance, we understand complex, dynamic market conditions. We understand how to present your account to an underwriter in the most favorable light. And R&R Insurance has been helping clients for almost 50 years. If you're looking for a better insurance purchasing experience, we'd love to sit down and talk with you. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks, Jeff. Learn more at myknowledgebroker.com.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. A week of war, and it's only intensifying.
Iranian missiles hitting multiple locations inside Israel today, including a direct hit on a medical building in southern Israel. Firefighters say apartment buildings were also hit.
ABC's Nicole D'Antonio. As President Trump considers military action unless there's a deal, there is word this morning that Iran will send its foreign minister to meet with European counterparts tomorrow in Geneva. Hackers possibly linked to Israel say they've wiped out $90 million from an Iranian crypto exchange. Well, this was fast. Hurricane Erik was a tropical storm one day ago and rapidly intensified into a Category 4. It just made landfall in western Mexico, downgraded to a Category 3. Acapulco now in a hurricane warning. Texas got rocked when a SpaceX rocket blew up on the pad. That's a sound from 2 miles away. You're listening to ABC News.
Looking pretty good out on the roads right now. Just a little bit backed up northbound 43 from Fond du Lac to Keefe. Northbound 41 from Mayfair Road up to Hampton. Other than that, everything else is rolling along just fine. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Clouds early on, then sunny. Slight chance for rain today, a high of 80. Tonight, clear and a low of 65. Right now, it's 7:33. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, a worsening financial situation for the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel is reporting this morning the office is now projecting a more than $7 million overall deficit for the end of the year, with a projected overtime deficit of nearly $9 million. Now, factors contributing to the OT deficit include staffing vacancies and turnover, as well as wage increases for sheriff deputies and correctional officers.
There's been a change in the sentencing date for Maxwell Anderson. Anderson's sentencing has now been moved to August 1st at the Milwaukee County Safety Building. Anderson's sentencing was originally set for August 15th. Anderson could face a maximum penalty of life in prison without the possibility of parole in the death of 19-year-old Sade Robinson.
New photos of the Pewaukee native wanted for killing his 3 young daughters. Authorities in Washington state are releasing altered images of Travis Decker with added facial hair and longer hair, showing what he might look like if he changed his appearance while he's been on the run. Decker's charged with murder for the deaths of his 5-year-old, 8-year-old, and 9-year-old daughters at a campground in Washington state. $20,000 rewards being offered for information leading to his arrest. We have the latest photos online at WTMJ.com.
It's become one of the largest cycling tours in the state of Wisconsin, with thousands of cyclists and crowds. Co-founder and executive director Bill Koch says the legacy of Tour of America's Dairyland goes back decades.
Koch says the tour itself is an extension of a cycling tour that began back in 1969.
A guy named Otto Wentz created this idea of this multi-stop series in Wisconsin.
Now, Tour of America's Dairyland has found its way into 25 Wisconsin communities over the past 16 years.
The riders are the riders right there. They like to race in front of a big crowd. That all combined adds up to kind of a spectacle, right? It's just a really big, gigantic block party.
Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:35. Traffic sponsored by Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield. Visit holtebeck.com.
Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield makes vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Learn more at holtebeck.com.
Coming up, it was as if Mick Jagger showed up when the acquittal was announced.
Ready to upgrade your home's exterior? Family owned and operated since 1983, J&J Contractors specializes in top quality windows, doors, and siding that enhance your home while increasing its value and energy efficiency. From modern vinyl siding to stylish fiberglass doors, and from double hung windows to sliding glass doors, they have the perfect solutions for your home. Contact them today for a free consultation. Just search online J&J Contractors or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors, welcome home.
EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. Early bird discount extended until June 30th. Tickets at EAA.org/tickets. An unforgettable week, July 21st through the 27th. All the only in Oshkosh moments. A week full of endless possibilities. Daily air shows, world-class performers, historic aircraft displays, hands-on activities for all ages. 18 and under get in free thanks in part to the Boeing Company. Don't wait. Lock in with the early bird pricing extension today at EAA.org/tickets.
We see you out there, building a life you love, knowing that when inspiration strikes, nothing should get in your way. At Blaine's, we're here to help with everything you need to make it happen at prices that make it possible. Like $150 off a Hobart 210 MVP MIG welder. Save $55 on a Flowtech convertible jet well pump. All Steelworks welding stock 10% off. Plus, we offer Blaine's best price promise, guaranteeing the lowest price with us or we'll match it. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin, the best in the area. They're going to take care of you big time. You want to play pickleball. You want to golf. You want to play with your grandkids in the front yard and do it with no pain. Go to the place that has the highest patient satisfaction ratings and the top doctors in the area. It's Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. I've met the docs. I've walked through the hospital. It's absolutely incredible. They're going to take great care of you from beginning to end. Go to OHOW.com, hit the request an appointment button. OHOW.com, request an appointment.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 7:38.
The father of a former Packer is dishing on Green Bay. Much more at 7:45. Not guilty. Not guilty is Karen Reed, the Massachusetts woman accused in the death of her police officer boyfriend.
A jury acquitted Reed of second-degree murder and manslaughter in the death of her boyfriend, police officer John O'Keefe. Cheers from outside heard inside the Massachusetts courtroom.
Is the bar guilty or not guilty? Not guilty.
When Reed emerged from the courthouse, supporters erupting in applause.
I could not be standing here without these amazing supporters who have supported me and my team.
Reed supporters, many wearing her favorite color pink, traveled from outside the state, from as far as Texas.
It was really quite incredible, the number of supporters that screamed. Listen to this. When the verdict is read, you can hear the cheers outside in the background. Listen.
What say you? Is the defendant the bar guilty or not guilty? So say you, Mr. Foreman?
You hear that in the background? That's the cheers through the walls outside.
Wow.
Screaming. It was amazing and incredible, the amount of people there, says Nathan Reed, who spoke to ABC.
And the verdict comes down and you hear this crowd out here, erupt and go nuts, and it was like Mick Jagger just walked on the stage.
Like Mick Jagger showed up. She's not out of the woods yet. There's still a civil trial on this case that is coming down from the O'Keefe family. In fact, the friend of the victim speaking about that the fact that John O'Keefe is still gone, the police officer boyfriend.
Johnny deserved much more than this. We just deserve much more than this. The fanfare and all this. The domestic violence, hit and run. And that's it.
So the civil trial for Karen Reed will still move forward. 7:40. This portion of the show is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Visit steinhoffels.com.
The deals are heating up during Steinhoffel's summer sale. Start with 10% off the entire store, living room, bedroom, dining, and so much more. Make your new room more affordable with Steinhoffel's special financing, and you'll get a $100, $200, or $300 MasterCard to spend later. But hurry, just like summer, these sizzling savings won't last long. The summer sale, only at Steinhoffels and steinhoffels.com.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns. It's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
It doesn't get any headlines just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. I mean, there's just such beauty in it, you know? If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
Get organized with great storage solutions from Menards. The Masterforce 4-tier industrial duty shelving unit is a storage solution designed to provide unmatched durability and stability to your workspace. Each shelf supports up to 3,000 pounds. Keep your workspace organized and clutter-free with the Masterforce 4-tier industrial duty shelving unit. On sale now. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Traffic brought to you by J&J Contractors. Visit jjcontractorsllc.com. Debbie Lozga, how are we looking?
Pretty good. Pretty typical right now. The delays northbound on 43 starting from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keith. Southbound's pretty clear right now. Westbound 94 tightening up from just west of 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, and then from the Zoo all the way in towards Sunny Slope Road. Northbound 41 backing up from Mayfair Road all the way up past Capitol Drive, with the southbound side slowing from Appleton to Hampton. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Nice temperatures for today as highs will climb from the 60s and 70s this morning to around 80 this afternoon. Small chance for an isolated shower or storm, but overall staying dry with more sunshine later in the day. Still a small chance for a storm Friday with temperatures in the lower 80s. Then our temperatures jump up for the weekend. Highs Saturday, low to mid 90s. Heat index values will be over 100 degrees. Plenty of sunshine into Sunday, one of the warmer days with highs in the mid-90s, a heat index value close to 105. Monday, we still hold on to the 90s with mostly sunny skies and those heat index values above 100. I'm meteorologist Hyland Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
66 right now.
Gonna catch the next train and how.
Is this your guy?
I like it.
Yeah. Gary Clark Jr.?
Gary Clark Jr., yes.
Clark plays the Miller Lite Oasis tonight at Summerfest. The big gig opens at noon today. Overnight, Israel and Iran exchanging missile strikes again. The barrage of missiles coming into Israel today may be the most intense since this recent conflict began. We're told by Dan Johnson of BBC that as many as 50 people in a hospital in southern Israel were hurt when a missile hit there.
The defense minister has said Iran's Ayatollah will be held accountable for what has happened this morning, for the damage to Israel's infrastructure, the further damage to homes and buildings, and the wounded who've been affected at that hospital. And it's not just there. There are reports of 65 people across Israel having been hurt this morning.
Now, the president has said demanding unconditional surrender. Iran has basically said, yeah, we dare you to get involved in this.
Yes.
And
I'm sorry.
No. The question now is whether or not the president pulls the trigger on a bunker buster.
Yeah, and just to even have that as an option is scary enough, and knowing that if he can get enough supporters in Congress to pass this or vote on this, it can happen. It can truly happen. And Congress, he has a stronghold on a lot of the votes and the
but
people.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, correct. So we will see how this plays out, but very, very anxious times right now.
So what would happen if the U.S. used this bunker buster, which would basically be the only weapon available to stop the nuclear facility, which is hundreds of feet underground in Iran? What would happen then? What would be next? We will get into that coming up in the 8 o'clock hour on Wisconsin's Morning News. Right now it's 7:45, and Telly's got sports for us in a minute.
Vince Vitrano for Annex Wealth Management. Whether you're building wealth early on, navigating mid-career goals, or planning the retirement you desire, Annex tailors financial strategies to fit your unique needs. Every stage of life brings distinct priorities, and Annex meets you where you are with personalized solutions. Just starting out or prefer simplicity? Annex Ignite keeps it streamlined. Facing important decisions, investments, retirement, taxes, or estate planning, Annex Comprehensive Wealth delivers that guidance. For high net worth individuals or families with sophisticated goals, Annex Private Client offers elite, customized service. As a fee-only fiduciary, Annex prioritizes your interests. No hidden fees, no commissions. The team packed with CFPs, CPAs, wealth strategists, attorneys, and a top-notch client service crew ensures you're in capable hands. Locally owned, independently operated, branches across the WTMJ listening area. They're ready to help. Visit AnnexWealth.com, click Get Started, and schedule your appointment today. Annex Wealth Management.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Former Packer Jair Alexander has signed a one-year, $6 million deal with the Baltimore Ravens, reuniting Alexander with his close friend and former college teammate Lamar Jackson. Jair's father, Landis, who has been rather active on social media the last few weeks, joined Cal, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin to shed some light on the timing of the former All-Pros release.
We love those guys. We love that team. We love that city, man. Nah, it's not that. We're going to play everybody the same. It's going to be hard. And the other biggest thing is that Green Bay let him go when he was feeling his best. I promise you that he is in better condition than he's been since 2018.
He's feeling his best until he gets hurt again. Alexander has only played in just 34 of a possible 68 games since the start of 2021. So history is saying that. I'm not hating on him, Erik.
Yeah, it's fact. Yeah, you're right.
In baseball, Game 2 of the Brewers and Cubs 3-game series was a washout in Chicago on Wednesday. That game has been rescheduled for August 18th. Brewers phenom Jacob Misiorowski was slated to pitch yesterday, and it has yet to be determined if his start will be pushed back to today or if his spot in the rotation will be skipped this time around. First pitch from Wrigley Field is set for 1:20. And in the NBA Finals, the Oklahoma City Thunder look to clinch the series in Game 6 tonight in Indianapolis. OKC took a 3-2 series lead with a 120-109 Game 5 win. Pacer star and Oshkosh native Tyrese Halliburton will be a game-time decision after suffering a calf strain.
We will check in with Matt Arnold, the Brewers GM, coming up 1 hour from now on Brewers 360. We will ask him about all this little scheduling stuff.
Yes.
It causes several scheduling snafus.
Absolutely.
Not just for today, but down the line. So.
Down the line, we're talking 20 games in 19 days.
Right.
We'll ask Matt Arnold about that one.
Yeah, got to. 7:48. Trivia with Tausch is next.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Well, time to upgrade your windows and doors, but don't want to spend a fortune? Well, Pella, the best in the industry, has a product line for every budget. And right now, you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. So if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments to up to 2 years later. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends June 30th, so set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin. So there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit frederick.com/cancer.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Hey, Debbie, so we don't have Taos today, but we're still going to do Summerfest trivia. Are you in? Will you play with us?
I'm in.
All right. We'll do it right after traffic and weather. Your forecast will be next. But first, the roads.
Okay. Northbound on 43. We've got some backups from Fond du Lac Avenue up towards Keefe. Westbound 94. We're seeing delays from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard and then from the zoo into Waukesha County. By the time you hit Elm Grove Road, Sunny Slope Road area, you should be good to go all the way west. Northbound 41 backing up from about Mayfair Road all the way up towards Appleton. Actually, no, towards Hampton. Southbound from Appleton down to Hampton as well. It's going to be a bit backed up. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition.
Today we have mostly sunny, slight chance of rain with a high of 80. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, slight chance of rain with 82. And then this weekend, things will heat up. Saturday, a heat index of 103. Sunday, 105. Monday, 102.
Right now, it's 68 at 7:51. Ellie and AJ at Summerfest tonight as the big gig gets underway at noon today. Also today, Juneteenth, the parade in Milwaukee kicks off for Juneteenth here 1 hour from now, or an hour and 10 minutes from now. Okay, so trivia with Tausch. One thing that, if you didn't know this about Mark Tauscher, is one of his favorite things, Telly, is trivia.
Okay.
He loves being able to process and think and try to figure out if he can know the answer to a question. He loves it when it's multiple choice. He also loves it when we provide these questions to him, because then he starts to think about where we put the multiple choice answers in. Well, maybe it's this. He really gets into it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it kills me that we're starting trivia with Tausch, and he's not even here today, but he will be back tomorrow. And what did we do, Greg? We did ask him to provide us answers for this segment, so he will play even though he's not in today, right,
yeah,
Greg? Okay.
That's our guy.
All right. Debbie, you want to get on this also?
Sure.
Okay. All right, we'll do Summerfest trivia with Tausch today. This Summerfest headliner was once dubbed by Taylor Swift as her favorite band. Is it A, Def Leppard, whom I'm hearing right here? Is it B, Hozier, who headlines tomorrow? Or is it C, Jack's Mannequin? Which Summerfest headliner was once dubbed by Taylor Swift as her favorite band? Telly?
I didn't know if Debbie was going to go first. I'm going to go with B.
Right.
I think she's too young to know about Def Leppard, for real.
All right.
And I don't even know what that band is. Hozier, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, I've never even heard of the band, so I'm just going to go with B.
B for Telly. Okay, what do you think, Deb?
I was gonna go with Def Leppard.
All right, you say A.
Yeah, because I don't know.
What do you think? What did Tausch say?
Tausch said Def Leppard as well.
Debbie and Tausch are correct.
Well, I guess playing the music probably should have been a clue, huh?
Taylor Swift was just 18 when she teamed up with Def Leppard for a 2008 episode of the popular CMT series Crossroads. That's her singing right there with them. She said, I have always thought if I ever do one of these shows like Crossroads, it has to be with Def Leppard, she said, when she was just 18.
Wow.
Here, listen to her sing this. Doesn't even sound like her. It's really a dream come true, she said.
Wow.
Screaming the words of Def Leppard songs.
She's an old soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't sound like she's 18, though.
And we should also point out she will not be making an appearance tonight during the Def Leppard show.
Sure?
That we know of.
That we know of. This is true. All right. Next one. This Summerfest headliner was scheduled to play at the DNC in Chicago last summer, but was bumped. This headliner scheduled to play at the DNC in Chicago last summer, but was bumped during one of the nights. Is it A, Rick Springfield, B, James Taylor, or C, The Head and the Heart? A, Rick Springfield, B, James Taylor, C, The Head and the Heart. Debbie, which letter would you like?
I'm going to say Rick Springfield.
A, Rick Springfield. What do you think, Telly?
I'm going to go with C.
C, The Head and the Heart.
The Head and the Heart.
All right, what is Tausch
And
going?
Tausch said B, James Taylor.
Of the three of you, Tausch is correct.
Boo, he's not even here.
I said, oh, he said Rick Springfield?
No, he said B, James Taylor.
Yeah, that's what I said. Did I say Rick Springfield?
Yeah, you said A.
Oh,
Springfield.
never mind then.
Either way, James Taylor's the answer. So Taylor, I was there for the sound check. I covered the DNC that day, and he did the sound check. But the show was so long, the speeches went so long, they got delayed because of some security stuff and getting everyone in there for the delegate stuff at the United Center, that they had to skip him from the actual primetime show.
Wow.
Could you imagine who had to go up and tell him? Mr. Taylor.
Well, as long as Mr. Taylor got paid for it,
well,
so I'm sure.
But it's funny you say that. He actually apologized to fans later. He posted on social media, "Hey, so sorry I got bumped." Like, wait, why are you apologizing? All right, last one. Augustana plays the Generac Power Stage at 8 o'clock tonight. At which Illinois college did the band form? A, Bradley, B, Greenville, or C, Augustana? Which college did the band form? Illinois. And I see, Telly, you're wearing an Illinois State shirt today.
Yeah.
Illinois State is not one of the options.
I was going to say, hopefully that'll be a clear-cut answer. I'm going to go with Augustana.
I was going to say, is this one of those who's buried in Grant's tomb things?
Ooh. All right,
Augustana.
So you're both going C, Augustana. What did Tausch go
Tausch
with?
said Bradley.
The answer is Greenville College.
What?
And I grew up near Greenville College. Something told me to say that. Oh, gosh.
So of all of
I
us,
suck at this.
Telly's the one that's actually heard of Greenville College.
Yeah. It's very small.
Augustana playing the Generac Power Stage tonight. 7:57. Tausch will actually be back for trivia tomorrow, and we'll do it again right here on Wisconsin's Morning News. By the way, Tausch is always sponsored by Kohler Services and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Headlines are next.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Milwaukee Forge's long-running plant in the Bayview area may have to close if the manufacturer does not find a suitable buyer soon. Mass layoff or the facility's closure could start as early as August 18th, affecting 67 employees. Retailer Home Group Inc. has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. At least 26 stores will be closed as part of the process, including the location on North Mayfair Road in Wauwatosa. Kyle Crum, one of Rockwell Automation's most high-profile Milwaukee-based tech executives, has left the company to launch a manufacturing investment firm and recently accepted a role at venture capital and advisory firm Momenta. I'm Addison Lathers from MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
If you're feeling vibrations in your steering wheel after reaching speeds of over 50 miles per hour, you should bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
If your brakes are making weird noises or feel strange every time you apply them, you should bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
If your engine light is on, you should bring it to Richlands.
And let us fix it for you, because there isn't an auto service repair job on the planet that our service techs can't fix.
Courtney's right. Just check out some of our Google reviews. A whole lot of stars means a whole lot of happy customers.
Proof's in the pudding. So whether you need factory scheduled maintenance
or tires, brakes, and suspension service, we've got your back.
5 conveniently located facilities, all AAA approved,
and all staffed by ASE certified technicians. I'm Brett Matchke, and the next time you're due for service,
bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Dan, what are you doing?
Taking a closet for a test drive.
A test drive?
Here at Inspired Closets, we have our own cutting-edge immersive design experience.
That's right. Envisioned by Inspired Closets uses AR technology that's sort of like test driving a car.
Virtually walk into your custom closet at scale before anything is even built.
You can even make changes in real time, so your environment will adapt to any design revisions you make in that moment.
Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets, a wife and husband team.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
The biggest gig in the world has finally returned. Summerfest is here. And WTMJ will be broadcasting live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio, right on the lakefront. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
8:01, I'm Erik Bilstad. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Thursday, June 19th. Our top story, a worsening situation in the Middle East.
I'm Telly Hughes. More money problems in Milwaukee County.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Westbound 94 is backing up from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard and then from the zoo to the county line. Northbound 43 backing up from just before Fond du Lac Avenue up towards Keith. The southbound side nice and clear. Southbound 41 a little heavy from Appleton Avenue to Silver Spring. Northbound slow from Mayfair Road up to Hampton. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Some clouds early on, otherwise sunny, a high of 80 degrees today. There's a slight chance for rain. Tonight, clear, a low of 65. Right now in Milwaukee, 69 at 8:01. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Trump is approving attack plans on Iran, but has not made a final decision on whether to strike the country. That, according to senior intelligence sources speaking with CBS News. It comes as strikes escalate between Israel and Iran. CBS correspondent Robert Berger is in Jerusalem.
There was a feeling that maybe missile attacks were diminishing, but there was a wake-up call this morning when around 30 ballistic missiles were fired at Israel, and several got through Israeli air defenses. One hit a hospital, the biggest hospital in southern Israel. Another hit apartment buildings near Tel Aviv. So people staying close to bomb shelters.
The U.S. is now pulling some Americans from the embassy in Israel. Meanwhile, the IDF has struck Iran's heavy water reactor in its latest attack on Tehran's nuclear program, and Israel is vowing to intensify its attacks.
Lawmakers in Washington are divided over possible U.S. involvement in the Israel-Iran conflict. Missouri Republican Senator Josh Hawley says he wants the U.S. to stay out of it.
I don't want to see us be bombing.
But Hawley's fellow Republicans, Texas Senator Ted Cruz, says Israel isn't the only country whose national security is at stake.
It will make Americans substantially safer.
Democratic senators are leading a war powers resolution to block President Trump from using military force against Iran without a vote in Congress.
Money trouble for Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office, and it seems to be getting worse. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports the office is now projecting a more than $7 million overall deficit for the end of the year, with a projected overtime deficit of nearly $9 million. Sheriff Danita Ball says factors contributing to the overtime deficit wage increases for sheriff's deputies and correctional officers.
Although we have decreased our overtime hours, wages have increased, and the amount of overtime allotted does not appear to proportionally reflect the salary increases.
The issues have plagued the agency for decades, even under former sheriffs David Clark and Ernell Lucas.
Milwaukee police want to use facial recognition technology as a new tool for solving crimes, but the plan is drawing strong criticism from city residents.
The technology would be used by police as a lead generator in criminal investigations. MPD Chief of Staff Heather Haw.
The Milwaukee Police Department intends to craft a policy that ensures there's no misuse of the technology.
But residents at Wednesday's Equal Rights Commission meeting expressed fear the policy would lead to misidentification and bias.
Technology that misidentifies people cannot be the foundation of our public safety.
MPD says they're able to set their own policies under provisions in Wisconsin Act 12. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
An update to a story we've been following for weeks now out of Washington State. It involves a man from Pewaukee accused of killing his 3 young daughters. In a WTMJ exclusive, the sheriff at the center of the search says new methods are now being used to track Travis Decker.
Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison says planes, helicopters, drones, and dogs are being used to hunt for Travis Decker.
Just a lot of areas to hide, certainly challenging terrain. We have a lot of mountaineering people that come out here and just explore. So it's a challenging area to search for sure.
And Morrison tells us even psychics are being used.
They've reached out and they've given some theories, and of course, we've made an effort to look into some of those.
In 2020, it took 3 weeks to track down a fugitive in the same thick, remote area of Washington. John Merkier, WTMJ News.
Delaying the federal trial of Milwaukee judge Hannah Dugan.
A federal judge says the court needs more time to review her defense attorney's motion to dismiss the case. Dugan is charged with obstruction for helping an undocumented immigrant evade ICE agents at the Milwaukee County Courthouse in April. Her legal team is claiming judicial immunity. U.S. District Judge Lynn Edelman says no matter how he ultimately rules on the motion to dismiss, the losing side could appeal to the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals. Dugan's trial was originally set for July 21st. A new trial date has not been set. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Coming up, it sure is going to feel like a celebration today. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
Fleet Farm's got a special buy 3, get 1 free deal on Cooper tires you don't want to miss. Just have 4 qualifying Cooper tires installed with our Resolute Road Hazard policy, and the 4th one's free. And count on us for your ATV, lawnmower, trailer, and wheelbarrow tires, too. tires, oil, brakes, batteries, and more. Let Fleet Farms Auto Center take care of your truck and auto needs, all at the best prices guaranteed. Cooper Tire offer not available at Hastings.
Streaming services, retail chains, and tech giants are all adding plus to their names. It's fairly obvious they were inspired by Hasseless mattress. Hasseless showrooms are employee-free, plus unbeatable prices on Tempur-Pedic, plus free next-day delivery, plus 60-month interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic with approved credit, plus a $300 MasterCard gift card with your Tempur-Pedic mattress. Maybe we should change our name to Hasseless Plus. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasseless.com.
Hi, I'm Erik Brown, owner of Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech decking installer. We install anything decks and more. Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
Today is the day. Lots happening in Milwaukee. The Big Gig kicks off. Summerfest, one of the biggest music festivals in the world, and the production power behind it is homegrown.
While the lights flash and music pumps through Summerfest, Mindpool is controlling everything you see on the big screens.
We're responsible for all the live video production at the festival, so any of the multi-camera feeds that you see, the screens and or LED walls, monitors around the festival grounds, we produce all those feeds.
President and owner of Mindpool, Josh Adams.
Whether it's social media, whether it's people just taking pictures and texting it to their friends, the video screens end up so many times becoming the kind of up-close and personal experience takes place.
Nicer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Today is also Juneteenth, which commemorates the day the last group of enslaved people found out they had been freed. In Milwaukee, a local filmmaker is honoring Juneteenth with an effort honoring a civil rights icon.
You may have noticed a mural below the I-43 overpass on Fond du Lac Avenue of a crowd holding up a man and a sign reading, "Free Joshua Glover Now." Local filmmaker Michael Jarr made a mini documentary about that man, and now he's raising money to create a full-length film.
It's a nonprofit endeavor, and every time we get money in, we go out and we interview the next person.
It tells the story of a black man in Racine arrested under the Fugitive Slave Act and the thousands who rallied to his aid.
We want to travel to Toronto, St. Louis, and really kind of tell the story from beginning to end, completely from Joshua Glover's perspective.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee's home to one of the nation's oldest Juneteenth celebrations. In fact, they kick off their parade at 9 o'clock this morning. It's 8:09, so what if the U.S. uses that bunker buster? What would happen next? We'll dig into it in a minute.
We see you out there, building a life you love, knowing that when inspiration strikes, nothing should get in your way. At Blaine's, we're here to help with everything you need to make it happen at prices that make it possible. Like $80 off 192-piece DeWalt Mechanics tool sets, Milwaukee job site backpacks $89.99, Little Giant rubber utility mats 15% off. Plus, we offer Blaine's best price promise, guaranteeing the lowest price with us or we'll match it. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavidi for QC Kinetics. Big focus in America today on your health, and you're determined to look beyond pills and steroids and surgery to feel your best, right? I want to talk to the person who's in pain right now, or maybe it's someone you love. I've got chronic elbow pain. Maybe someone you love is dealing with that issue. You've done everything they told you to do. The pain just comes back. You're exhausted, but you don't give up. You want to meet someone who can fix that for you? Let's meet with Medical Director Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team. They'll explain how their regenerative treatments take your body's own healing power and help restore your damaged tissue. These are well-respected protocols that include potent and powerful cellular-level treatments. QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics has helped tens of thousands of people, so many of them right here in Milwaukee. No masking the pain. They're going after the very source of it. Yes, you can say goodbye to that chronic pain and live your best life. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Just call QC Kinetics at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
811. The road's okay at the moment, Debbie Lazago?
For the most part, we do have a crash now on the off-ramp to Keefe from northbound 43. Looks like the left lane of that ramp is blocked, so just be prepared for that. You're going to be kind of making your way around it. Just be extra careful. We do have delays northbound 43 anyway from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Northbound 41 backing up from 27th from Mayfair Road all the way up to Hampton. Southbound slow from Silver Spring to about Hampton as well. I was going to say 27th because the delays on westbound 94 from 27th have dissipated. We do have still some delays basically west of Highway 100 in past Elm Grove Road. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Clouds early on, then sunny. A slight chance for rain and a high of 80. Tonight, clear, a low of 65. Friday, a high of 82. Saturday through Monday, at least, we'll see heat indices hitting 100 plus. So it's going to get really hot and really humid. Right now, it's 70 at 812. Wisconsin's Morning News, Erik Bilstad along with Telly Hughes. Telly's in for Vince. Vince is back on Monday. Well, the attacks have intensified, more back and forth between Iran and in Israel. Israel firing back.
The Israeli Air Force struck the Iraq heavy water reactor in the latest strike on Iran's nuclear program. The military said the site could be used to produce plutonium for nuclear weapons.
So that's CBS News correspondent Robert Berger. Also being reported that Iran has hit a hospital in southern Israel, and that we're hearing from CBS that President Trump has approved attack plans on Iran, but has not made a final decision on whether to strike the country. Joining us now, Jeff McCausland, military analyst for CBS News. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, sir.
So let's just start with this, Jeff. If a decision was made to drop a bunker buster on this Iranian nuclear facility by U.S. decisions or U.S. military planes, B-52s or what have you, what would happen? What would the anticipation be if that decision was made to go ahead and do that?
Well, the first thing you need to keep in mind is tactically it would be our B-2 bombers, the largest bomber we got. We've already got aircraft pre-positioned, Diego Garcia, and there are reports of moving tankers into the region, which will be required for aerial refueling. It also would not be a one and done. What I mean by that, this would be what I would call an air campaign, not an air strike, because the B-2s would probably go in multiple times, at least 2 or 3 times, to have any high probability of full destruction of that facility. And they do battle damage assessment, BDA, in between those attacks. In addition to that, we see now up to 3 carrier battle groups moving into position. They would be there to provide support aircraft, particularly fighters, perhaps to escort the B-2s in and out of Iranian airspace. And then the question you're asking, what happens next? Well, beyond that tactical problem of destroying the facility, Iran has threatened and would likely lash out against about 40,000 American troops that are in the region. We have large bases in Saudi Arabia. We have a huge base in Qatar. We have military forces, of course, in Iraq doing anti-ISIS operations. We have the 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain, as well as all those naval facilities or naval ships offshore. So they would respond to that. And again, those carrier battle groups, other military forces in the region would be prepared to respond to that. Iran could also respond by striking some of our allies in the region, oil facilities in Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, close down the Straits of Hormuz, driving up the price of oil. Some estimate could go as high as $130 a barrel. And then finally, of course, Iran could and has threatened to conduct asymmetric attack. What would that be? Terrorist attacks that could occur anywhere around the world. And they've done those kind of things in the past.
Jeff, we have heard from both sides of the aisle on this, and to the American people that really don't understand how critical the U.S. involvement is in this conflict, what are the benefits and what are the downfalls of the U.S. getting involved in this Israel-Iran conflict?
Well, the benefits are, of course, once and for all, for at least for a significant period of time, we would eliminate the possibility of Iran acquiring a nuclear weapon. This has been a back and forth literally for 20 plus years. And Iran, of course, has been in many ways involved in hostilities, not war, but hostilities with the United States by its support of various groups throughout the region. When we were in Iraq, it was the Iranians who were providing support to different Shiite militia groups that were in fact attacking American forces. And they were clearly providing a lot of the IEDs, which killed American soldiers. No question about that. And of course, we've had the assassination of senior Iranian leaders by the Israelis and by the United States. We killed Hassan Soleimani, the commander of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, perhaps the most powerful or second most powerful guy in Iran, was assassinated by the United States, very clearly done by that. And as a consequence, that certainly has transpired and passed. So we would not have to, for a period of time, perhaps be concerned. On the negative side, what could it mean? Well, as I just said, they could lash out across the region against our forces, against other countries, and there won't be an automatic move to a democracy in Iran the day after. If we take down the regime, it seems to me that's more the direction now Israel is moving. Well, you could end up with even more autocratic regime rising from the ashes. I think that's probably more likely, quite candidly, or just total chaos in a country of 91 million people, which regionally obviously will not contribute to stability.
Military analyst from CBS News, Jeff McCausland, joins us on Wisconsin's Morning News. So, Jeff, when defense officials present options to a U.S. president, do they provide pros and cons, or do they just provide different scenarios? How do they go about that situation room conversation?
Well, they do both. They go through various scenarios. You got to think through what those scenarios look like. Mr. President, it's going to be multiple attacks. When you do multiple attacks, you got to also consider the fact you might lose an airplane. B-2, pretty invulnerable, and we see very weak now Iranian air defense, but they might get lucky. Who knows? Second of all, you could have an aircraft have a mechanical malfunction. So you got to at least have a scenario that says we could lose an airplane, we could lose pilots. We got to have a contingency whereby we're prepared to go in and pull those guys out, if at all possible, after that particular attack. There probably are alternative scenarios for getting after the Fordo facility beyond simply bombing it. I'm sure the Israelis have other alternative means. They might do some kind of a cyber attack. They might do a commando raid. So those as alternatives, and the associated probabilities of success would be presented. And then they very clearly, if they're doing their job, they're going to present the president, Mr. President, if we do this and we're successful, this is what success looks like, and this is what the positive outcomes might be, and here's what the negative outcomes might be. You got to remember, as we used to say, decisions at that particular level, oftentimes you have a series of bad choices, and what you got to figure out is which one of these is the least bad.
Jeff, you have been talking about this nuclear weapons program that Iran has been working on, or this has been the conversation over the last 20 years. And my thinking is, if we are thinking about doing this bunker buster bomb, don't you think that they have already been preparing for possible attacks and they have something that can counteract that?
Yeah, that's certainly a really good question. And that one reason they built this facility secretly, discovered in 2010 during the Obama administration, was to prevent it being destroyed, building in the side of a mountain, 250 feet below ground, trying to prevent that from happening. They saw the Israelis do airstrikes against a facility that Iraq was building back in the 80s. They saw Israel do an attack against another nuclear facility being built by the North Koreans in Syria. So they've seen that happen. The real question, though, even if you destroy Fordo, you destroy Natanz, might there be another facility somewhere in Iran we don't know about? And that's the great unknown. And clearly, if you want an absolute probability that you have eliminated any possibility of Iran enriching uranium to move to a nuclear weapon, the only way you can go in there is go in on the ground and check it out like we did in Iraq. And in that case, of course, we discovered they didn't have any.
So the president has said, I can make a decision at any moment. It could happen at any minute where a decision will be made and the trigger will be pulled, so to speak. So how much time would it take? If is it possible the president has already made a decision on this and it takes hours, days? What's the process?
Well, we position the forces in the region to conduct the mission pretty much. So there's, like I said before, there's still some tankers moving in the region. Yeah. We know a third carrier battle group's in the region. Are you going to wait until that particular carrier battle group's in the region to provide more protection for U.S. forces and protection against Iranians launching a bunch of missiles at us? Perhaps. So those timelines might affect when you make the actual choice to pull the trigger or not. Or do you just move up to the edge and say, okay, I've got max leverage now because of the presence of those forces, and you want the Iranians to know they're there. You want to be pretty transparent. We got all this firepower in the region, and this is your last chance to negotiate. That's the military problem. Then there's a political problem. Last time I checked my Constitution, it said, going to war was a decision made by the United States Senate,
right,
as representatives of the American people. And it seems to me bombing a nuclear facility in a foreign country like Iran is an act of war. I mean, goodness gracious, if Iran bombed a nuclear facility on the territory of the United States, I think we consider it an act of war.
Yep.
So there's a political issue that I think, frankly, deserves a lot more conversation.
So speaking of that, so we were discussing that earlier on the program, that Congress has to give the okay. If the president doesn't ask for that, or the president just makes the order, what's the Defense Department supposed to do? What's the Pentagon supposed to do? Are they supposed to say, well, wait, sir, we got to hear from Congress? Or will they just go ahead and whatever the commander-in-chief says, they do?
That's a question you're going to ask them. That puts them in a constitutional quandary, quite frankly, because every one of those guys, to include the Secretary of Defense, Mr. Hegseth, who's pretty doggone loyal to the president, let's face it, but last time I heard when they swore their oath to take those positions, they swore.
Oh, we lost you. Well, we knew what he was going to say. Wait, Jeff, we need you to repeat that. We lost you. I know what you're going to say, but I'll let you say it. Last time.
Well, it puts them in a quandary. They swore an oath to the Constitution, and now we have that particular problem that only they can rectify in terms of, are they going to follow those orders blindly or not?
Great stuff, Jeff. Really appreciate you.
Take care.
Jeff McCausland, the military analyst for CBS News. 8:23. All right, Deputy Lasgo.
Okay, northbound 43. We do have that ramp to Kiev blocked off because of a crash there. So be careful with that. You won't be able to use that off-ramp. It is going to be slow from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Kiev. Southbound 41, heavy from just south of Appleton Avenue to Capitol. Northbound from Mayfair Road up to about Hampton. The rest of the system still looking pretty good as far as any kind of major incidents or anything. Just a few broken down vehicles here and there, but they're not even in traffic. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Tri-County Contracting. You've seen it. You've seen their facilities out. You've seen their signs and their trucks out at the neighbor's house, maybe, or down the street, and you're like, maybe I need to get onto that. Maybe I need to jump on the Tri-County Contracting action. Well, you can do so. Go to TriCountyContractingWI.com right now. TriCountyContractingWI.com. And if you're curious about a roof, just click on the Instant Roof Quote button right now. Type in your address, put in your phone number, and they'll send it right to you. You'll get it instantaneously. Then you can move forward with the process and learn if it's the right fit for you. It's TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
AdventKnows.com.
Most insurance accepted.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
and to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder. Here's to Supper Club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free 7 days a week at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, serving lunch on Saturday from 11 till 2, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
All right, it's that time again to honor ourselves an everyday hero. Everyday Hero is when Wisconsin's Morning News identifies and celebrates an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today we head to South Jersey, Barrington, New Jersey. Nyla Bennett is her name. She's 14 years old, and she was playing basketball with her friends at a park along the Delaware River when she heard a commotion.
I didn't know what was happening, but I knew something was wrong.
Yeah, she could just tell. You know that when you just hear certain yells or screams, you just know that something ain't right. So she tells NBC 10 News that knowing that something just wasn't right was enough to make her run over to this area. So she runs over to this boat launch area along the Delaware River, and she finds a 9-year-old boy in the water. So 9-year-old boy had been playing with friends. He fell into the river, and everyone's panicking. The boy in the water is panicking. He's starting to move in the current. The children on the shore were panicking. So she acts.
I really wasn't thinking in that moment. I just knew in my mind I was thinking he's drowning. And so I just dove right in there. When I seen all the commotion and everyone screaming, there wasn't really many thoughts going through my head other than was to help that little boy.
Yeah, so she dove right in there, as you heard. She says all she could see were his hands out of the water, and she believed that he was going to be drowning. So this teenager jumps in, clothes and all, shoes and everything, jumps into the water, grabs the kid, and she holds him. She starts talking to him to calm him down because, as anyone knows, especially in the water, there can be panic, and that can cause even more trouble. So they float in the water together until a boater passing by grabs them both and hauls them in. Nyla's mother.
I'm so proud of her. I mean, she came home. It's like, Mom, don't be mad. I lost my watch. You know, it died on her. I said, I'll get you another watch. I'll get you another pair of sneakers. It's replaceable. The kid is not replaceable.
That's right. The kid's not replaceable. Everything else is. That boy is okay. There's no way he would have survived, witnesses say, given the situation there. But thanks to Nyla, she saved this boy's life. How does she feel about what she did?
I was very shocked after it happened because it all happened so quick and I wasn't thinking. And after it happened, I just couldn't believe that it actually happened. Like, I was shocked.
Yeah, shocked and thankful that everything worked out. Thank you, Nyla. And yes, enjoy that new pair of shoes. You deserve it. Nyla Bennett, thank you for being an everyday hero.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. If you've saved in a 401k or IRA, you might think you're set for retirement. But here's something you need to know. Every dollar you withdraw could be taxed. And with rising government debt, future tax hikes could take an even bigger bite out of your savings. Imagine reaching retirement only to realize the IRS is taking more of your money than you expected. It's one of the biggest risks that retirees face, spending their savings without a plan for taxes. And once you're retired, it's often too late to fix it. That's why I want to help you create a tax strategy now so you can keep more of your hard-earned money. At Drake & Associates, we focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you lower your lifetime tax bill and maximize your retirement income. And right now, I'm offering you a free retirement toolkit, plus a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready, to show you how to keep more of your money working for you, not the IRS. Text TAX to 414-897-9522 to claim your free copies. Don't wait until tax rates rise. Start planning today. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping you keep more of what you've earned.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Join the free smoothie party at Tropical Smoothie Cafe on Saturday, June 21st for National Smoothie Day. Tropic Rewards members get a free smoothie with bowl or food purchase. Terms and conditions apply.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com. This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Want to save big on your next home improvement project? Visit extpros.com today for expert services at unbeatable prices.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. Israel's prime minister is telling his troops to go harder on Iran after a morning attack destroyed apartments near Tel Aviv and also hit a hospital.
We're targeting military sites. We're targeting nuclear sites. We're targeting missile sites. They're targeting a hospital.
Benjamin Netanyahu is hoping for military help from America.
The partnership with the United States, the partnership with President Trump, with whom I speak to almost every day, is incredible.
Do not eat chicken Alfredo meals bought at Walmart or Kroger's under the brand names Market Side and Home Chef. Listeria has killed 3 people and left 17 very sick across 13 states. Landfall this morning near Acapulco for a hurricane that has exploded in a day from a tropical storm to a Category 4, back to a 3 now. An anomaly is how SpaceX describes the explosion of its Starship rocket on the Texas test pad. This is ABC News.
We got northbound 43 still backed up with a crash. It is on the Keefe off-ramp. They basically have got that whole ramp closed off because of this accident. It was originally blocking a lane, but now, the whole thing. So we got delays coming up from Fond du Lac Avenue up to that point. Northbound on 41, backing up just in pockets between Mayfair Road and just about Hampton. Southbound slow from Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive. And then eastbound 94 is just starting to get a little bit heavier from about 68th Street through to about 35th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Clouds early on, then mostly sunny, a slight chance for rain, a high of 80 today. Tonight, clear and a low of 65. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a worsening financial situation for the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reporting the office is now projecting a more than $7 million overall deficit, a projected overtime deficit of nearly $9 million. Factors contributing to the issues include staffing vacancies and turnover, as well as wage increases. The office eliminating mandatory overtime in the courts division, adding 9 additional bailiffs and continuing to add to its recruitment in order to fill these vacancies.
A WTMJ exclusive. The sheriff in Washington state leading the search for a Milwaukee man accused of killing his 3 young daughters says the FBI is now involved.
We're not ruling out any possibility where he could go.
Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison says there's still the possibility that Travis Decker's trying to get to Canada. The sheriff tells us the men and women on his team can match Decker's expertise in the outdoors.
I have a lot of individuals here that have way more training than him on the military field, and we're putting their knowledge base up against him as well. His training's not unique. He's not the only person that's ever gone through it.
The FBI is also now involved in the hunt for Decker. John Mercure, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin ERs are seeing a recent surge in tick-related visits and an even bigger leap compared to the same time last year.
According to state data, there were 80 visits for tick bites per 10,000 ER trips for the week ending June 1st.
It's not just a seasonal spike. It's been rising year on year.
Dr. Ben Weston for the Medical College of Wisconsin believes the uptick in tick-related visits is due in part to milder temperatures.
Areas that were once too cold or too dry are becoming warmer and more humid and allowing ticks to thrive.
Dr. Weston adds if you find and remove a tick early, you can often stop the disease transmission before it begins. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
A program that gives cash to Milwaukee moms in need is reporting results from year 1.
More than 120 Milwaukee moms get unconditional financial support through the Bridge Project. Cash loaded on a debit card, no strings attached.
They have an average income of about $7,500. We know that they are either having their first or second or third child, and we know that they're struggling to meet their basic needs.
1 year into the project, results show it's working. Some moms securing stable housing, others pursuing training programs. And that's not all.
We've also seen increases in mental health. We know that a little bit of breathing room decreases your stress.
Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
News about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. It's Juneteenth, federal holiday, so the markets are closed today. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:36.
Hey, listen up, moms, dads, grandparents. School's out, summer is here. You need an outing. WTMJ's John Mark here. I've got it for you. Take your kids to the Mine Shaft Restaurant and Entertainment Center in Hartford, the area's most affordable, cool, and comfortable summer vacation destination. It is world-class fun because they've got a world-class game room with over 80 interactive games, including a huge claw crane game, Taj Mahal Mini, Ticket Ring 45, Monopoly Roll and Go, and the easiest games for all your little ones. Monday and Thursday, that's when you want to go. You buy one pizza, you get a second pizza for free. Sunday through Thursday, kids 5 and under eat free from the kids menu. Yeah, that's right. You heard me. It's free. Your kids are going to love the Mine Shaft, especially your teenagers. Grandparents, take your grandkids to the Mine Shaft. They'll love you more than ever. It's fantastic. Big food, big fun. It's the Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh. It's a super affordable summer outing with free pizza on Monday and Thursday. Visit mineshaft.restaurant.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
After writing 3 unsuccessful offers, Brenda decided to make a no regrets offer on this next property. She offered $35,000 over asking and promised to complete the purchase even if the appraised value came in as much as $25,000 below the accepted offer price. Why? Because she was tired of losing, and because her AccuNet loan consultant showed her that even in her worst-case scenario, no additional money would be needed at closing, and her payment, which on this home was much more affordable than others she wrote offers on, would only increase by $17 a month. Brenda's no-regrets offer, backed up by a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet, was accepted over several others. And wouldn't you know, the appraised value came in at the significantly higher than asking purchase price, which happens 9 out of 10 times in our experience. If you or someone you know wants help understanding what a no-regrets pre-approval might look like, get started by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
When you hear me say
Eric Benet plays the BMO Pavilion stage tonight at Summerfest. He's one of the early shows. I love these shows. I love the 7:30 shows. Sometimes there's even a 5 o'clock show with a big name.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of those. It makes me sound old, I guess. But
no, that sounds like a person that has to get up at the god-awful hour of 2 or 3 in the morning.
Could be. All right, Telly, here's this one. Americans have rated this steakhouse highest among all restaurants for this year. So this is one of those surveys. They did a survey asking about sit-down restaurants, which are still very popular these days. Mm-hmm. Satisfaction on all restaurants did fall slightly, but not by much. So this restaurant is number 1 on the list. You want to just throw out a guess? You gave me one earlier.
Yeah, I gave you one earlier. And after I said it, I think I know the answer, but I'm going to go with Chili's.
Chili's is on the list. It is, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th. Ninth. The top rated, according to this survey, restaurant is Texas Roadhouse for the second year in a row. Texas Roadhouse leads.
Wow. What are they doing now in Texas Roadhouses that have all of a sudden made them so popular?
Their sweet potatoes are amazing.
That's what it is, Debbie? Okay.
Yes.
So it's no longer just the joy of throwing peanuts on the ground.
But you can't even do that anymore since COVID. Yeah, since COVID, they don't do that anymore.
Oh wow. And they're still number 1.
You're devastated.
Right, because I don't have many options outside of peanuts.
Hey, Debbie, where is there one? Is there one around here that you go to?
There's one down off of Moreland, off of the Rock Freeway.
Okay.
And then there's another one up in Waukesha, I think.
Right. Texas Roadhouse, number 1. Number 2 is Longhorn Steakhouse. Number 3 was All Others, which I believe is the name of the restaurant.
Okay,
All Others.
I hope so.
Yeah.
4 is Olive Garden. 5 is Applebee's. 6, Cracker Barrel. So there's your list.
Olive Garden, and we're talking about a steakhouse?
Well, yeah, but it doesn't, it's what they're serving, not it's how they serve it.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
We have a big Brewers 360 coming up next with Matt Arnold. But first, got to check the roads. Hey, speaking of the roads, you were a little distracted in there with a giant cockroach. Did that get taken care of?
Well, in a way. In a way, it's no longer visible.
That's worse, Debbie. So it ran. It's
scurried away. His name is Gizmo now. We've named him.
I don't know if I like Gizmo not being seen. That means he could be anywhere.
Right.
Just jump down on you.
And the idea that it looked like he ran behind the thing where we have all those drawers, right underneath the big TV.
Underneath the cabinet? Okay.
Yeah, underneath the cabinet there. So, yeah.
Well,
fun times.
Keep tabs on Gizmo. How are the roads?
Well, we've got delays northbound 43. Of course, we got the accident on the Keefe off ramp. That ramp is closed right now because of that. So heads up with that. Westbound on 94, that's actually looking pretty good. The eastbound side, a little tight from 76th Street through the stadium. On the northbound side of 41, backing up from Mayfair Road all the way up almost to Hampton. Southbound slowing down just before Silver Spring down to the Capitol Drive area. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Summer is finally here. We're outside and maybe noticing the condition of our old windows. Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors, your local experts in stylish, energy-efficient replacement windows. Boost your curb appeal with top brands like Pella, Anderson, and Marvin, tailored to fit your home, your style, and your budget. Plus, installation by employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, fiberglass, all on display in their newly remodeled New Berlin showroom. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Visit hometownwindows.com today.
From those with no experience to firearms enthusiasts, all are welcome at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. The staff is deeply committed to providing a welcoming and engaging environment for everyone at every level. Learn the right way to handle firearms, level up your skills, and experience replica firearms from different historical eras while learning about their role in protecting our freedoms throughout history. Visit veteran-owned and managed Mission 94 in Kenosha today. Check out the 5-star reviews. Just Google Mission 94.
Don't let them ruin your summer. Vince Vitrano for the Bugman and Queen Bee. Just had Adam, the Bugman, out to my house for the stinging insect nest preventer service. And Adam tells me he's getting a lot of requests for this right now because of wasps. Now, this won't keep the bees and other pollinators from doing their important work in your yard or in your garden. What it will do is keep them from building a nest in your roof or inside the house. Local, family, veteran-owned and operated. 20% off your first service when you tell them Vinny sent you. Bugman, queenbee.com.
We see you out there building a life you love, knowing that when inspiration strikes, nothing should get in your way. At Blaine's, we're here to help with everything you need to make it happen at prices that make it possible. Like $150 off a Hobart 210 MVP MIG welder. Save $55 on a Flowtech convertible jet well pump. All Steelworks welding stock 10% off. Plus, we offer Blaine's best price promise, guaranteeing the lowest price with us or we'll match it. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Brewers GM and Senior Vice President Matt Arnold.
At any point of the Brewers front office was George Webb hamburgers mentioned?
I mean, we talk about that every day. I don't know. I mean, we don't have to wait for a winning streak, so we're always about George Webb here.
This is Brewers 360.
Brewers 360, sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting. Joining us on Wisconsin's Morning News, as he does every Thursday, is Brewers Senior VP and General Manager Matt Arnold. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, guys.
So no Vince today. We got Telly Hughes in the studio with us today. And Telly noticed something earlier about the game schedule for today, Telly. What did you observe?
Yeah, so, Matt, I was in Chicago yesterday, and I was watching the news, and I saw that they had rescheduled the White Sox for a doubleheader against the Cardinals today, and the Brewers and Cubs are rescheduled for August 18th. And it really made me think about it because, during a long baseball season, like, oh, we'll just play it later. But later can be very crucial. And during that stretch, that's already a 4-game set against the Cubs in Chicago. And the first day, you all are going to play a split doubleheader. That makes 5 games in 4 days. But that's during a stretch where you guys will play 20 games in 19 days. So my point is, why did they let you guys play a doubleheader today and get it over with?
Yeah, I had similar questions about that as well. It sounded like there were some business side conflicts with the Cubs on their end, and some city ordinance issues that came up as well. So I think potentially the conflict might have been Jacob Mizorowski, to be honest, but we'll see.
Sounds right to me.
That's up to them and the league, and that for us, from our standpoint, we're willing to play anybody, anywhere, anytime, and we'll see what it looks like in August, but we're ready to go today for sure.
We were wondering about that. So Miz is not starting today?
I'm still working through it. I think it's likely going to be Freddie.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And Matt, when you have a rookie like Miz and he's making his second start, how much more you have to handle that with I guess delicate hands, so to speak, because you don't want to rush him, but you also want to make sure that he's in a rhythm. So what will go behind that? Will that be one of the determining factors, especially if weather may be a problem or him being pushed back? How much of a difference is that?
Yeah, we want to be certainly sensitive to a guy like that who's just getting his feet underneath him, and Miz has done a tremendous job getting here. And I think the big thing is just making sure that he's ready to go, every fifth day. And so, rain happens. We get that. We've had a number of issues along the way, and we have to reschedule guys all the time. But we have to make sure they also get their work in throughout the course of the season. And so we'll continue to work with the coaches and the player to make sure that he's good to go, hopefully the rest of the way.
Matt Arnold joins us on Brewers 360. So, of course, here we go. It's mid-June. So there's going to be a lot of conversation now of trade talk and which teams are going to jump earlier in the trade conversation, which ones are selling, how many are buying, et cetera, et cetera. So the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel has a little piece on this, Matt, and it says the Brewers have struggled on the left side of the infield this year, making Arizona Diamondbacks veteran third baseman Eugenio Suarez one of the more compelling names to follow. So here's my two-part question for you. A, when are you going to trade for Suarez? And B, if not him, who are you going to trade for?
Great question. There are so many different scenarios that everyone will work through, including us. And we're right now, I mean, we're obviously focused on trying to do what we can to help the team. We also have the draft coming up before the trade deadline, so there's certainly a lot of things going on our front. But look, I think we've had incredible support from our owner to make moves early. I think, that evidence of going to get somebody like Quinn Priester early this year in April. We made a Willy Adames trade back in May at one point, and, we're willing to make moves, every day to help this team. And so, we're going to stay open-minded to just about anything to do just that.
And, Matt, I know how things just kind of shake out even at the very end when it comes to trades, and it can happen in a matter of seconds or it could take a long process to get it done. So I'm going to shift more towards the draft. And the one thing about the Brewers that have always been consistent is the great scouting department. How much attention is being paid in Omaha during this last couple of weeks and the talent that you all could possibly find there?
Yeah, we have scouts there. We have eyes on it. I was watching that LSU-Arkansas game last night, maybe one of the best
that was crazy
I've ever seen, and I'm not pulling for either side, but what an incredible finish to that game. So, yeah, Telly, to your point, we have people watching all those games, and they're a lot of fun to watch. I mean, what a great environment.
Yes.
How does a team know how to go about trades when it's because what's the rule there? Like kids who are still in school can make a decision whether to be drafted or not, right? Where they can, if they are selected, they can just say, I'm going to stay in school.
They can do that. I mean, obviously, if they're a senior, there's obviously less wiggle room to do that. But yeah, I mean, typically they can. I think, throughout the course of the draft, you try to get a sense for their signability and see what they're willing to sign for, and have good relationships with the agents to make sure that you're on the same page whenever you're going to draft a player like that.
Great stuff from Matt Arnold as your Brewers go after the Cubs today. This one will happen. They'll get this game in.
They will get this one.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Always appreciate it, man.
Likewise. Thank you, guys.
Brewers 360 with Matt Arnold, your senior VP and general manager of the crew. 8:50 now, and Gizmo remains on the loose in the newsroom while Debbie stays focused.
He, she, it has not been seen. So, yeah.
So
we'll let you know.
cockroaches, do they bother you or not? You seem
No,
pretty cool about this.
I'm fine with it as long as it's not like crawling in my ear. I'm fine.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
What's on your shoulder?
Bad visual.
The thing is, like, it's huge. It's like 2 inches. And I thought cockroaches run away from the light. Nope. This guy was like chilling
He's
on the
cool with
door.
it?
Dooper-dooper-doo. Yeah, so there we go.
Well, that is a first. Anyway, how are the roads?
Eastbound 94 tightening up a bit from 76th Street through the Stadium interchange. We've got northbound 43 still heavy from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Remember, they had that off-ramp closed because of a crash there. Southbound 41 backing up from Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. Northbound's going to be backed up from Mayfair Road pretty much up to Hampton. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
We may be months away from winter, but it's never too early for the team down south to start hibernating. The Brewers head to Chicago to take on the Cubs.
Fly ball to center, and it is gone! Jackson Churrio's got a dozen homers, and the Brewers have broken it wide open.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:45. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top-quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Girl, I gotta be next to you. I'm waiting, anticipating for you, baby.
Mike Jones playing Summerfest. Where's he at? I don't see it on here, Greg. Oh, he's playing U.S. Cellular Connection Stage at Summerfest today. So Summerfest kicks off at noon. What steps off here in mere moments is the Juneteenth parade in Milwaukee. Joining us from 101.7 The Truth is Kyle Wallace. Kyle, you're in the parade line right as we speak, right?
I am in the parade line, excited for my first ever time getting a chance to be in the parade. We're starting in about 5 to 10 minutes. Really excited to see all the hype, all the different organizations, businesses, and people here in the community coming out to celebrate the 54th annual Juneteenth celebration in Milwaukee.
Kyle, I know you're really excited about the fact that it's not as hot as it was last year.
That is one thing. The humidity's supposed to be up, but I don't think it's going to be beaming like it used to be.
And this is such a great deal, and it brings out so many people, and it really displays Milwaukee in a way that other cities don't get an opportunity to celebrate Juneteenth. Why do you think it's been so special in Milwaukee, besides the fact this is the 54th year?
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I think it's been so special in Milwaukee is the fact that we love our traditions. We're a city of festivals, so to have the opportunity to celebrate something like this, I think is part of the DNA of the city and also part of the DNA of the Milwaukee community. Milwaukee's had a thriving black community for many, many years, so I think that's something that has been able to keep this going and seeing it grow to where we're going to have expected over 300,000 people joining today, they said, on the Streets Festival.
How are the crowds right now? It's early. It's almost 9 o'clock. Or is it starting to ramp up?
So I did get a chance. I walked from where our truth table is located on MLK between Locust and Chambers. I walked all the way up to 14th and Atkinson, and you could already see the buzz, people lining the streets, and the excitement to be able to watch the parade and participate. But you could feel the energy and feel the buzz, especially those who are prepared right now for the parade.
And, Kyle, the Truth will be broadcasting live from Juneteenth Parade starting at 11. And I remember doing that last year. And the great thing about that is 300,000 people, you never know who's going to be there and stop by. And is that something that excites you as well and something that you look forward to, is the fact that you don't know who you may run into or who you may get a chance to interview?
No, that is something that is always exciting. You never know. We got politicians already hitting us up, and so we're never knowing who's going to come by. But that is the exciting part, is that really this is a show. When we do this broadcast live, it's an open forum for those in the community, whether it's somebody who runs a community organization or whether it's somebody who's like the mayor of Milwaukee or Cavalier Johnson. It is an open day for the community to come on and have a conversation and celebrate with us and celebrate with Truth Nation.
Well, happy Juneteenth Day. Enjoy the parade there, Kyle. Enjoy the festival.
Yes, happy Juneteenth to everybody, and let's celebrate this great day in American history.
Kyle Wallace from 101.7 The Truth from down in Milwaukee for the parade that is stepping off here in just 3 minutes from right now. 8:58.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
It's happened again. Another local organization switching to business technology from James Imaging Systems. This time, it's St. Anne Center for Intergenerational Care. CFO Sally Parente.
We were unhappy with our previous vendor. It was always a big production. We also had some issues with pricing.
And now with James Imaging Systems,
the service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. We're getting value here as well.
Just what you'd expect from James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed company. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation.
I love that they're a local company. They've been a wonderful business partner for St. Anne Center.
Make the switch to James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin, the best in the area. They're going to take care of you big time. You want to play pickleball. You want to golf. You want to play with your grandkids in the front yard and do it with no pain. Go to the place that has the highest patient satisfaction ratings and the top doctors in the area. It's Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. I've met the docs. I've walked through the hospital. It's absolutely incredible. They're going to take great care of you from beginning to end. Go to OHOW.com, hit the request an appointment button. OHOW.com, request an appointment.
Here's to experiencing it all this summer in Wisconsin. Every deliciously cheesy, rockin', magical, fireworks-filled, festival-loving moment. There's Cheese Curd Fest in Ellsworth, Strawberry Fest in Cedarburg, Festival of the Arts in Stevens Point, and the Renaissance Fair in Bristol, Honor the Earth Powwow in Hayward, Mile of Music in Appleton, Venetian Fest, Bratfest, Summerfest. So many fests for your whole crew. Find them all at travelwisconsin.com.
There's nothing out there close to this.
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Ridgelawns.
This isn't just a rivalry. It's Brewers Cubs, and it's going down today in Chicago.
Curveball struck him out swinging.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:35.
And Trevor McGill strikes out 3 to secure the series win.
We are the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
9 o'clock, I'm Erik Bilstad. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Thursday, June 19th. Our top stories, so what does Travis Decker look like now?
I'm Telly Hughes in for Vince Vetrano, using a new tech tool to solve crimes.
Some clouds early on today, otherwise nice summer day. Sunny, high of 80, slight chance for rain. Tonight, clear, a low of 65. Right now in Milwaukee, 71 at 9:01. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the search is continuing for a Pewaukee native accused of killing his 3 young daughters in Washington state. It's been 2+ weeks now. In a WTMJ exclusive, the sheriff at the center of the search says new methods are being used to track Travis Decker.
Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison says planes, helicopters, drones, and dogs are being used to hunt for Travis Decker.
Just a lot of areas to hide, certainly challenging terrain. We have a lot of mountaineering people that come out here and just explore. So it's a challenging area to search for sure.
And Morrison tells us even psychics are being used.
They've reached out and they've given some theories, and of course, we've made an effort to look into some of those.
In 2020, it took 3 weeks to track down a fugitive in the same thick, remote area of Washington. John Merkier, WTMJ News.
So law enforcement is also releasing new details of what Decker could look like if he has changed his appearance, if he has facial hair less or more, if he has longer hair on his head, those types of things. If you'd like to see any of the pictures, go to our website at WDTMJ.com or text the word poster to 855-616-1620.
The Milwaukee Police Department's plan to use facial recognition technology in criminal investigations draws criticism from community members.
Under the plan, MPD would enter into contracts with data company Biometrica, granting them access to 2.5 million mugshots. Chief of Staff Heather Hall reassuring the city's Equal Rights Commission Wednesday.
It compares images obtained during criminal investigations with lawfully possessed arrest photos.
But some community members aren't convinced.
Technology that misidentifies people cannot be the foundation of our public safety.
MPD is already using the tech in partnership with neighboring departments, and per Act 12, department heads can set their own policies. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The Wisconsin Department of Health Services is fining Milwaukee Public Schools over lead cleanup.
The $5,500 fine is for violations of state code during the lead remediation work at 4 schools this spring and summer. They were also fined for repeated non-compliance and failure to follow earlier guidance. DHS said that instead of paying the fee to the state treasurer, MPS should reinvest the money into lead-safe renovations. MPS has until June 24th to answer questions about future renovation work. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Tensions escalate between Israel and Iran as overnight an Iranian missile slammed into a hospital in southern Israel, causing extensive damage and injuries. The IDF responded by attacking Iran's heavy water reactor that is part of Tehran's nuclear program. BBC's Dan Johnson has more from Jerusalem.
Israel's military said air defenses detected 20 to 30 missiles. There were loud interceptions over Jerusalem and explosions in Tel Aviv. At least 7 sites were hit, including the Soroka Hospital in Beersheba, further to the south. The roof was on fire. There was damage to wards and corridors. At least 47 people were injured, 3 of them seriously.
President Trump has not said whether the U.S. will get involved in the Middle East conflict.
Milwaukee's Juneteenth parade is underway, stepping off just moments ago. It's the longest-running celebration since 1971. We're also home to the very story of abolitionism that led to the creation of the Republican Party in Ripon. Local filmmaker Michael Jarr tells WTMJ's What's on Tap about the man who escaped to Racine from slavery.
His slave owner never stopped tracking him down. And he found him in Racine. He came up to Milwaukee, went to the courthouse, got a warrant for Joshua Glover's arrest, and put together a posse with a couple of U.S. deputy marshals. They ended up beating Joshua Glover, tossing him in a jail cell.
Thousands then rallied to his aid using a construction beam from Cathedral Square to break into that jail. Jar's raising money to turn his mini documentary, Liberty at Stake, into a full film. Time now about news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. It's Juneteenth, so the markets are closed today. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Start your weekend tonight with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, the most beautiful and affordable summer dining destination. WTMJ's John Mercure here, and I love the Fox and Hounds. It's a special place for our family. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free. Desserts and ice cream drinks, or buy one, get one free. I love the grasshopper, the Bailey's drink. Oh my gosh, buy one, get one free. Order a smothered sirloin, grilled salmon, the new beef short rib mac and cheese, pasta, a big fresh salad, any entree, your second dinner is free. 7 nights a week. Relax with a cold beverage on the patio in the woods, then your free dinner in one of the 8 beautiful, unique dining rooms. The award-winning Fox and Hound Supper Club, just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. The drive through the Kettle Moraine is a Wisconsin summer must-see. Weekends might be too busy? Check out your free dinner tonight. Don't cook, go out for drinks and a free delicious dinner. Tables are open. Check it out. It's my favorite place. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
With over 57 years of experience, family-owned Yutka Fence installs high-quality fencing with residential options, including vinyl, wood, aluminum, chain link, and ornamental fences. Committed to craftsmanship and customer service, Yutka Fence doesn't just build fences, they build relationships based on care, trust, precision, and protecting what matters most. Mention you're a WTMJ fan for 10% off your project. Schedule your free estimate today at yutkafence.com or call 262-859-3226.
For those with a warm weather fashion passion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Mother Nature was the big winner of the Brewers-Cubs game Wednesday night, with the rain forcing the game to be postponed until August 18th. The crew will play today with first pitch at 1:20. Our coverage starts at 12:45 p.m. right here on WTMJ. And the Oklahoma City Thunder are just one win away from being crowned NBA champions. Game 6 against the Pacers in Indianapolis tonight starts at 7:30. You can hear the game on 94.5 ESPN.
WTMJ time saver traffic. Couple of slow spots, a little bit slower than normal. 43 northbound, north of the Marquette. You have, of course, the road work, which is slowing things down, but you also have Keefe. That's blocked off because of the Juneteenth parade, so you're kind of crawling through that area heading north on 43. Elsewhere on 41, 45, same kind of thing. You got the road work, but we also have a crash. Right shoulder is blocked right around North Avenue there, heading northbound on 41, 45. So when you have the crash and you have the barrels and all that other stuff, it's slowing things down a bit there. And then finally, 94 eastbound Highway 16 to the zoo. That's good. From the zoo to downtown, some slowdowns in that stretch as well, right around the stadium.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Sunny, mostly sunny with a slight chance of rain with a high of 80. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, slight chance of rain with an 82. And things will get steamy this weekend. Saturday with a high of 93. The heat index will reach 103. Sunday, the heat index will reach 105. And Monday, it'll get down back to 102.
Forecast brought to you by Sweet Talks Med Spa. Your goal are our goals.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Erik Bilstad.
Erik along with Telly Hughes. Vince is back on Monday. So today is a big, big day. Today's the start of summer. Today's a day that always kind of creeps up on you. It comes in awfully fast. Summerfest begins on the lakefront today, starting at noon. Joining us in studio, WTMJ's What's on Tap host, Sandy Max, who was born at Summerfest, I'm told.
No. No, but it is. Good Lord, I look forward to this. You talk about it creeped up. Like, I was super excited when they made the first round of announcements back in February. And then it crept up on me 2 weeks ago, I was like, whoa, it's only 2 weeks away. But I am like a kid at Christmas right now. I've been losing sleep. I'm very excited.
Yeah, Sandy always has a great attitude when I see her, but she was extra chipper this morning.
Yeah, I did not need a cup of coffee. I feel like I'm talking to people like, have you seen the new art installation? And are you going tonight? When are you going? There are 9 days. Are you going to go more than one day? Yeah, I'm a little overexcited about it.
You don't go all 9 days, do you?
I would love to, and it's a possibility. I will not lie,
that's
Telly.
awesome.
It is an entire
That's
possibility.
awesome.
I'm broadcasting live
I like
tonight.
that answer. I'd like to, and it's a possibility, which means it's going to happen.
If I'm living right.
So you did something pretty cool. You have put together, oftentimes we'll hear, here's the best picks, or here's who I think you should see, or here's a hidden gem. You went about it a little bit different this year as to your suggestions, or at least for the Summerfest layperson to figure out what they should go see.
There's so many hundreds of bands over the 9 days. How do you choose? And how, people get busy, and yes, you can scroll through the Summerfest app, but I like to help you make the most of it. So I can help you be your Summerfest Sherpa musically a little bit.
Nice.
And so I will do my daily picks, but I also found some themes as I was going through. So on WTMJ.com, or if you keyword bands, BANDS, to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line, 855-616-1620. Text the word bands, and you'll get some of my selections by theme, like TV contestants. You might not realize how many alumni from American Idol, America's Got Talent, The Voice are going to be here. Like Lindsey Sterling, she was on Dancing with the Stars. Jason Mraz was on Dancing with the Stars. Benson Boone, Haley Johnson, Ava Maybe, who's performing today. Like, you might be surprised at those. Also, fun names like Your Mom. Oh, geez, not again. I don't know how, but they found me. And Would You Kindly? Those are the band names. And Saxy Sounds. See? Those are
working.
And on this webpage, it has the dates, the times, so that way you can plot it out. Also, Saxy Sounds. You've got Chicago, who is going to be performing on July 4th. Here Come the Mummies and Sasquatch. Excuse me. And Sasquatch is exactly what you think. A 7-foot-tall person dressed in a Sasquatch outfit playing killer saxophone.
Fantastic.
Well, I hope he's not doing it this weekend, because he's going to be hot in that costume.
He's the third weekend.
I don't know if Sandy has it there. Hey, Greg, when's your mother playing? Do you know?
Your mom?
Or your mom, yeah. Do you have it in front of you, or does Sandy have it?
July 3rd.
Okay, July 3rd.
On the Miller Lite Oasis stage at 2:45.
All right, so
text the word bands. You'll be set up.
In honor of Summerfest, we want to bring out a good old-fashioned 5Q. However, wanted to bring up, there is something different this year as far as, like, they have different exhibits / areas of the festival grounds for, like, the festival goer to go that's outside of, like, the music realm, kind of, right? And you went to one yesterday or this past week.
Astral Relics of the Great North Woods. Ooh, sounds kind of spacey and cool, doesn't it? Fuzz Pop Workshop is a local art collective, and they did the corn maze last year. If you remember, when entering by those huge instruments near the south end, behind that, it was basically like 30-foot tall plastic corn, plastic corn stalks that lit up in different colors and had kind of spacey sounds. And you walk through, it's like, okay, cool photo op. It was interesting. This year they have kicked it up a notch. They are these, it is inspired by the Great North Woods. They are 30-foot tall, inflatable, like tree spirit people that also kind of look like they're melting candles in these spacey colors.
Wow.
You walk up and they're surrounded, they look like they're having some sort of a spiritual gathering over this smoldering stump that makes all kinds of crazy sounds. And you can press keypads and control the sounds. And it's cool in the daytime because it's really colorful. I'll post some video on my social media. I mean, it is fantastic. And then Daniel Murray, who will be a guest with me on location tonight on What's on Tap, creator of Fuzz Pop Workshop, he will be with me, and he sent me video of last night lit up. Wow. So it's very, like, almost disco luminescent. It's a real experience. Like, you're going to be impressed. It's right between the U-Line and the U.S. Cellular stage on the north end. It's fascinating. There's dry ice. It's smoking. It's cool.
All right. And the kids may enjoy that, too. A little bit, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we got to get to it.
And now, time for the 5Q.
On this very program, we like to conduct ourselves a 5Q. That's when we open up a question to the panel and we compare and contrast our answers. Today, the topic is Summerfest, and our expert is Sandy Max.
Enthusiast.
Okay, number one of the 5Q. Best Summerfest show you've ever seen, and you can only name one. Sandy, you go first.
It's really, really, really tough. And you know there are a lot of runners-up, but I will say I'm a huge fan of The Clash.
Okay.
And to get to see Joe Strummer of The Clash perform, it was 1999. It was Joe Strummer and the Mescaleros on that rock stage on the North End. And one of the reasons it's the best ever, it was July 4th, and there were fireworks. And he was sitting, you know, they stop all the bands when they do the Great Big Bang fireworks. And he was, no, but this was July 4th, and he was watching fireworks. And I'm like, it's kind of funny that this British rock legend is enjoying America's patriotism. And so it was just, he was really enjoying it. So it was cool to get to meet Joe Strummer backstage and get to see one of the epic members of The Clash perform.
Telly?
So, Eric, I've been waiting to say this all show because we've played him already, but the best show I've ever seen at Summerfest, it will be here tonight. Gary Clark Jr.
There you go.
So, but that concert, it was Gary Clark Jr. who opened for Outkast, who had their last concert as a group, as a duo.
What a magic moment.
And you were there.
Wow.
And I was there.
Ooh,
and I didn't really even know who Gary Clark Jr. was, and he came out, and he just blew us away, and we were like, okay, he's the opening act?
Yeah.
And so
guitar
that was the best concert I've ever been to.
You going back to see him tonight?
He's thinking about it.
10:15. That's a late one for me these days.
Well
But,
worth it. Well worth it.
Oh, I think I will. I haven't seen him since then. So, yes.
Mine is Foo Fighters opening up for Red Hots in the amphitheater probably like 22 years ago or something like that. It was raining. It was a phenomenal show. Dave Grohl was young back then and like went out in the crowd. I'd say the Foo Fighters actually were almost better than the Red Hots. It was close.
I believe that.
Wow.
It was a phenomenal double billing.
Wow.
There
That is
in the
a great double
amphitheater.
bill.
Okay, you mentioned the fireworks. So, question 2 of our 5Q, the Big Bang fireworks. Some bands will stop, but they don't always. Most bands will stop and kind of let it go through before they start up again. Are you a fan of them going through and playing through the fireworks, or would you prefer, like they did when you were watching What's-His-Face, that they all stop and watch the fireworks?
I say stop. It's a 20-minute show, right?
Yeah.
And that way the band can enjoy it as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say yay.
Okay.
So you're yay to fireworks playing while the band stops. Okay.
Yes. Yay to pausing for the Big Bang.
I am. I would like to think that they would hopefully do a better job with their timing, and to know that, okay, this fireworks are about to come up. I shouldn't start my show 10 minutes before the fireworks show starts. So I'm a little on the fence, only because if I'm in a band and I'm really grooving, and then all of a sudden I just got to stop mid-song because of fireworks, but I also understand too, that's kind of like talking through the national anthem. Ooh. So if I'm playing and these fireworks are going on, it's like people don't know where to turn their attention to.
Yeah, you're right.
So
that's true.
I would say do a better job at your timing, but if you can't, stop while the fireworks, and then hopefully you can pick right back up where you were.
Yeah, Rusted Root. Hey, Rusted Root, get that figured out. I'm just kidding.
Why are you calling out Rusted Root?
All right, number 3 of the 5Q.
Wait, did you say yay or nay?
You know what? It's not a fair answer from me because I've seen the fireworks show at the lakefront and fireworks in general about 1.5 billion times in my life. So but I don't always see the Clash, or I don't always. For me, I'd pick the music, but that's just a me
get
thing. Would you rather work security for crowd surfers or over the grill at Saz's on a 100-degree day if you had to choose one or the other at Summerfest?
The mozzarella sticks don't talk back. Give me the hot, hot heat. Just trying to get people not to stand on picnic benches and on bleachers is bad enough. No, I do not want to work security.
Fantastic.
You know what? Now that you put it that way, I'm with you. Because at first I said I am not going to be sweating over a hot grill, but that is much better than trying to talk to some people that have had some adult beverages and you don't know how long they've been having them. And and they don't pay you enough to try to make that or enforce those type of things.
I don't know, though. It could be epic. Depending on who the band is, that could be epic, being in the middle of the scrum. getting all the heat. I'm talking about the crowd service.
Are you thumping the people, or are you flipping?
I don't know if I would thump anybody. I would pretend to be working, but I'd just be part of that little throng.
Just have the earpiece in your ear all the time, act like you're talking to somebody.
Yeah, I pretend that I'm paying attention, but I'd just be listening to the music, jumping up and down myself. Okay. Next of our 5 Qs, Summerfest is our theory. We've got Sandy Max in studio with us. She'll be broadcasting live from Summerfest tonight.
6 to 8 tonight. Excited.
The last comedian you ever saw at Summerfest. Telly, I know you're out. You haven't seen one, but Sandy, who's yours?
Way back, almost 20 years ago, when Don Smiley first started. I think it was his first summer. Remember Mark Metcalf, Niedermeyer from Animal House, when he had a restaurant here. I used to rip and run with Mark Metcalf, and it was me and Mark side stage to see Lewis Black. And I remember Don Smiley laughing. I was like, oh, we've got a good guy in charge. He's got a sense of humor.
He's laughing.
But yeah, it was when they had that big comedy stage, and they don't do that anymore.
That's right.
But yeah, Lewis Black. How about you?
I may have been at that exact same show. I saw Lewis Black, and it was like 20-something, right?
Yeah.
Like early 2000s.
Early 2000s, yes.
It was amazing. He was incredible, like, and even saucier than when you see him on television. It was a really good show.
And it was everybody had a cell phone. It was flip phone
right,
then.
yes.
So you're like, a lot freer and open, and not so much self-consciousness of, gotta watch myself.
Yeah.
All right, final one of our 5Q, final question. Summerfest is our theme today. Cover bands or original artists? Telly, I'll let you go first this time.
Ooh.
Cover bands or original artists, which would you prefer?
I actually am going to say, for Summerfest?
No, we'll just talk in general.
Period.
You can open it up in general. Just
the original artists, yeah. But I was just saying, in terms of giving these up-and-comers, an opportunity, Summerfest is a great place to do that.
Yep.
So, but, for a cover band. But, I'm an original artist type of guy.
I got you.
Yeah.
I feel like a cover would draw me in, but I want to see that original music. That's the joy of discovery.
Yes.
At Summerfest.
You know what? I want to blend these together. I want to see an artist cover more stuff. Meaning, I don't need the cover band, but I want to see, U2 cover a bunch of different tunes just to see if they can do it.
Because it shows what music is meaningful to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And what inspires them. Yeah.
Right.
Because I saw there's a famous goth rocker named Peter Murphy, used to be lead singer of Bauhaus, but he did a cover of Prince's Purple Rain at a show. And I was like, that is way not what I expected.
But it was amazing.
But it's a window to that person's creative soul.
After your show tonight, the first stage you're going to and why?
I am going to see Natasha Bedingfield.
Oh, yes.
I think when she belts out Unwritten tonight, it's going to be it's going to be a communal mass of people singing along. And that's what I want.
Sandy Max, the lover of music. WTMJ's What's on Tap, 6 o'clock tonight. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, guys.
Text BANDS with an S. BANDS to get her themed picks. Themed. 855-616-1620 on the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handled all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Get a $15 prepaid MasterCard after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia problems, cognitive decline. It's their specialty. They're great at it. And they also offer early memory loss classes. They can help your loved one with locations throughout our state, many here in southeast Wisconsin. I've been in their facilities. They're top-notch. It's kindness at the core. It's compassion and empathy at Azura. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
The ground shook in Texas. Starship sitting on a test stand at SpaceX's facility in southern Texas when around midnight it blew up overnight. The video is all over the networks this morning. It's all over your timeline. It grabbed your attention when you see it. So what happened here is they had an anomaly, they say. Starship did. So SpaceX dealing with what they're calling an anomaly. It was the sound of a blast that could be heard 2 miles away. It was shaking windows of people who lived in this area of southern Texas. But safe to say that the rocket is done for, exploding overnight. Yeah. Meanwhile.
Yeah. No. I thought you were going to play some more video because, more sound because actually, Eric, when I heard that at first, I was like, oh, it just sounds like, an explosion. But when you see the video, that is some incredible
it's pretty
video. Yes, absolutely.
So you have that situation with SpaceX, and now there's this, Telly. Honda, the car maker, is the latest to get into the space business. The company says it has successfully launched a reusable rocket up to 1,000 feet and landed it. They did it earlier this week.
Wow. Why everybody is just so fascinated and spending so much money to discover things that's already been discovered in space. I just don't understand.
So they're not going to be shooting people up there anytime soon, but their idea, according to Honda, is to set up a data system in space. So the company says it's using technology from its cars to design this rocket.
Wow. So they want to. What are they trying to find? What do they want to get out of this if they're not trying to send people up there?
I'm guessing with more satellites, it's more of an operational thing, perhaps, as far as what they can use their vehicles for. But as of now, anyway, they say they will not be sending humans. We're going to get you your headlines here in 2 minutes.
I'm John Mercure. Welcome to our Everyday Health feature, sponsored by the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. From fighting infections to delivering nutrition, advances in science are making it possible and easier for more and more patients to get advanced treatments through infusion therapy. Here to talk to us about that is Brian Condro, Clinical Services Business Liaison with Froedtert Home and Specialty Infusion. Brian, welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, thank you, John.
Let's start with the basics. What is infusion therapy?
Infusion therapy is treatment that gives a patient a specialty medication, antibiotic, or nutrition intravenously, which means it goes directly into the bloodstream. Patients can receive infusion therapy in their home or a specialized infusion suite. Really, the healthcare condition, the medication being prescribed, help to determine where care is provided optimally.
When is infusion therapy used?
Infusion therapy is used when other forms of treatments might not be appropriate. And a couple of examples would include infusion therapy helps somebody that has a severe infection and needs to receive a long-term antibiotic. It can also be used when a patient can't eat normally and needs nutrition in another way, or it can be used to treat certain health conditions, such as ulcerative colitis, which affects the digestive system.
Why should people choose Froedtert Infusion Services?
Froedtert Infusion Services offers both home and specialty infusion care. Our service is accredited by the Joint Commission for Specialty Pharmacy and Infusion Suite Services. We have 6 specialty infusion suites located all the way from Oshkosh through the greater Milwaukee area and down to Kenosha. Our healthcare team is highly trained and skilled at infusion care. They give infusions in our suites, sometimes, depending on the medication and the patient needs, can provide treatments right in the patient's home. Our team closely monitors the patient's care and is available 24/7, 365 days a year to answer any questions.
Brian, thank you for being with us today. You can learn more about Froedtert Infusion Services by visiting froedtert.com/infusion therapy. Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Hearing matters. It's not only about hearing better and interacting better. It's about protecting your health. Vita Hearing Care are going to take great care of you. Locally family-owned, 2 locations, Mount Pleasant and Waterford. I've been there. They've helped me. I have new hearing aids, and it's about embracing life's meaningful moments for me, my wife. Life is better. Every conversation, melody, and memory should be effortless. Vita will help get you there. Check out VitaHearingCare.com. That's VITA HearingCare.com.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. The Israeli military is grappling with the possibility Iran used multiple warhead missiles to challenge its Iron Dome. An Israeli military official telling the AP that Iran may have used it in today's attack on a hospital in Beersheba.
The Soroka Hospital, it took a direct hit from an Iranian missile this morning. The front doors of this only trauma center in the south of the country blown off, the bottom of the ground covered in glass, the facade of one of the crucial units entirely blown off. Israel trying to make account now of what happened this morning.
ABC's Ian Panel. Landfall hours ago for Hurricane Erik near Acapulco was a Category 3. SpaceX is asking people not to approach the test site where its Starship rocket blew up late last night. You could hear the blast from 2 miles away. SpaceX describes the explosion as a major anomaly. Elon Musk says there are no hazards nearby. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 9:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Maxwell Anderson is learning a new date now for his sentencing. Convicted murderer Maxwell Anderson, of course, convicted of killing and dismembering 19-year-old Sade Robinson after a date last April in Milwaukee. He was to be sentenced on August 14th. Now he'll be sentenced on the first day of August. Anderson could face a maximum penalty of life in prison without the possibility of parole.
A double shooting leaves 2 dead on Milwaukee's northwest side. It happened just before 4:30 yesterday afternoon on Wednesday near 42nd and Hour. An argument led to a 22-year-old woman firing a shot at herself, with the bullet then striking a 27-year-old. Both died from their injuries. No one else was hurt.
A worsening financial situation for the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel is reporting the office is now projecting a more than $7 million overall deficit for the end of the 2025 calendar year. Projected overtime deficit is nearly $9 million. Factors contributing to the overtime include staffing vacancies and turnover.
For the next 11 days, communities across Wisconsin will be welcoming thousands of cyclists racing through their streets. Co-founder and executive director of Tour of America's Dairyland, Bill Koch, tells WTMJ.
You know, we race on in essence, an urban track, if you could call it that, multiple times over the course of 30-minute to a 75-minute race. We set up the course at about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we tear it down at 10 o'clock at night, and we move on to the next city.
Koch says first-place finishers in the daily races can qualify for larger races across the country.
News about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The markets are closed today on Wall Street in honor of Juneteenth Day. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. There have been a couple of slow spots that we've been keeping our eye on today, mainly because of the road work, but some other issues as well. So 94 eastbound, Highway 16, through the zoo and into downtown. Right now is pretty much, it's on time, but you might see a 3 or 4 minute delay as you get through the stadium interchange there. Just keep in mind on that as usual right now. That is slowing down a bit. Meanwhile, 94 west, just outside of the Marquette. So you're going to see some lane closures possible there because of a disabled vehicle that they're dealing with. So it's on the right-hand side of things. They think they'll be able to take care of it, but you are going to see some slowdowns as you're heading just west of on 94 west of the Marquette. 43 northbound north of the Marquette, also very slow because of road work. We also have a closure. The Keefe exit is closed there from 43 north because of Juneteenth parade taking place. So you're seeing some heavy delays at times heading north on 43.
Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mostly sunny with a slight chance of rain with a high of 88. But this weekend, It will get extremely hot. But before we reach the weekend, Friday, tomorrow, it'll be a high of 82 with a slight chance of rain. And then here comes the heat. Saturday, a high of 93 with the heat index at 103. Sunday, the heat index will reach 105. And on Monday, mostly sunny, hot, humid again with a high of 93, heat index up to 102. In Milwaukee, it's 71 degrees. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ news time is 9:35.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on June 24th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they take on the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third down.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in June 24th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Not so fun fact, a recent study showed that only 40% of managers have annual check-ins with their direct reports. Not good, especially when today's younger workers crave development and growth. But the LAK Group has a new tool called Coaching on Demand. This cutting-edge platform connects leaders and professionals with certified coaches and seamlessly integrates AI into their development journey, all on their schedule. Learn more at transformingcareers.com. LAK, discover your human advantage.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory is arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy. And helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
It's Debbie Lazaga, and I'm so excited because Kohler Services just transformed my old bathtub into a beautiful new Luckstone shower. Kohler Services made it so easy. They came to my home and helped me design my custom shower, and they hauled away my old tub. Stephen, Luke, and Will were focused and professional installers. I'd recommend them to anyone. This June, receive a free shower door with a purchase of a Kohler Luckstone shower, plus no interest for 12 months. You can request your free quote for a custom Kohler Luckstone shower by visiting KohlerServicesWI.com. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Telly's guy, Gary Clark Jr., plays the Miller Lite Oasis tonight at Summerfest. Summerfest is in its first day today. They open up at noon. Telly in for Vince, who's back on Monday in Minnesota. Candlelight vigil on the steps of the Minnesota State Capitol on Wednesday following the deadly shooting that targeted mostly Democratic lawmakers, claimed the lives of state lawmaker Melissa Hortman and her husband. Another state senator was shot, and his wife. They will both survive that shooting. There's a lot of talk about what to do in Madison now following that shooting. More on Madison in a second, but first, who is delivering these pizzas? Someone is sending pizzas in Washington, D.C. and in around Capitol Hill, and it's making people uncomfortable.
Sources tell ABC News multiple lawmakers, both Democrats and Republicans, along with U.S. Capitol Police leaders, have received unsolicited pizzas at their homes. The deliveries likely aimed at sending the message, "We know where you live." Capitol Police saying these recent pizza deliveries are troubling and yet again bring to light the heightened threat landscape we are living in.
So a couple of things there. ABC's Alana Moise. Yeah, so it's an indication of, yep, we know where you are. It's public. We can find you. We can send you a pizza. The other question is, who's thinking to do this?
Yeah.
Who, given the situation that we've seen in Minnesota, you know what we got to do? Let's go send some pizzas to congressmen. Like what prompts someone to think they should do this? Unless it's someone from overseas causing more havoc.
I think it's just an intimidation thing of, like you said, hey, I know where you live, where some of that information outside of the president and vice president, you didn't know where all these politicians lived in Washington, D.C. A lot of them just have apartments and live there part-time.
Some of them bunk together.
And
They
some of
share
them
a
bunk
flat.
together. Some of them live inside Capitol Hill. There are places where you can live for weeks at a time. I took a tour, so that's why I know this is a fact. But again, I wouldn't want anybody to know. Just think how up in arms you would be if somebody just got your phone number and just called you and say, hey, yeah, Eric, I got your number. I also know where you live.
Yeah.
And that would pretty much freak you out. So for this to be going on, I think it's a dangerous thing. I think it is something that should be taken very seriously when people start to know your addresses and I mean, you don't even know if they know your whereabouts, how much they've been watching you, and not just knowing your address. So that is pretty scary, if you ask me.
Back to Madison now. We're at the state capitol on Wednesday. They were back in session, so like business really ramping back up since this incident in Minnesota. So you had a lot of the lawmakers back for session in the state Senate and in the state assembly doing different work. So should they ramp up security there? How does security look right now? There were more officials and officers on place. State Senate Minority Leader Diane Hesselbein.
Do you feel confident that the security currently in the Capitol is enough, or do you want to see new measures put in place?
I feel safe in our Capitol building. I think we're going to continue to have conversations to make sure that everyone else feels safe as well.
Yeah, so her point being that, yeah, at the moment we feel good, but we're willing to talk about some more options as well, including one of those being whether or not they want to install metal detectors like some lawmakers are proposing at the state capitol.
Yeah, but we have seen this so many times, Eric, especially in recent years. It's all good until it's not. And different times and different climates deserve different measures. And this is not how it used to be 5 years ago or 10 years ago, where it probably did feel extremely safe and you didn't think anyone would enter the Capitol and try to harm you. But that's not the case now. And it was maybe, a year or two ago when someone walked into the Capitol with a rifle.
Yeah, for looking for the governor.
Looking for the governor.
Yep.
And so if you could just walk in that easily to a government building, like there has to be some measures that'll make you feel a little safer. If it's more security, even if it's just metal detectors for now. But that would freak me out if I knew someone could just walk in here with a rifle at any given time.
In more visible signs of force, there were State Patrol officers in the building on Wednesday around both legislative chambers, in addition to the usual Capitol Police. There were also new security screenings for reporters attending news conferences in the Senate parlor. The Democratic Assembly leader's door that typically is open was locked, a sign saying that anyone with an appointment could knock to gain entry. Wisconsin is the state capital's one of 11 that doesn't have metal detectors as of now. But again, there are some GOP leaders saying we should consider this. As far as the threats go, a couple of more things here. Greta Neubauer, she's the minority leader in the state assembly. She had this to say in a request to reporters and the media when it comes to addressing this matter with her colleagues.
I would also like to ask everyone to remember that these threats, even after the suspect has been apprehended, have had real impacts on the mental health of everyone affected. And we ask that you please respect the duress members and their families have been put through and extend understanding to them.
Right. Because Neubauer knew these lawmakers in Minnesota. She knew Melissa Hortman. She knew her.
Yeah.
And so did Robin Voss. Assembly Speaker Robin Voss brought up the Hortmans before their session began on the floor.
Michelle and I had the good fortune to spend quite a bit of time with Mark and Melissa since she was first elected as Speaker in 2019. She was funny and engaging and incredibly smart, and I will miss seeing her at NCSL.
You mentioned NCSL there, so that's the National Conference of State Legislatures. So this is like a bipartisan organization. State lawmakers from across the country are a part of it, and it gives them an opportunity to share ideas, share policy, give advice to different states just across the country. So he mentioned that. He also said, you know what? Maybe there's a way we can tamp down some of the rhetoric.
Both political parties suffer from political intimidation, name-calling, and the risk of physical violence, and we owe it to those who elect us to be role models for civil discourse, not mouthpieces for the loudest and the most inflammatory voices. No matter who the president is, no matter our disagreements, no matter the tragedies that shake us to our core, we are still lucky to live in America.
That's the Assembly Speaker speaking on the floor on Wednesday. And other news coming out of the state capitol. As of now, it would appear they don't have the votes on the GOP side to pass the current budget proposal. It is 9:45.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. You're going to love this. There's free pizza today at the Amazing Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford. Business owners, managers, coaches, listen up. Check this out. Every Thursday, when you buy one pizza, your second pizza's free. Buy 2 pizzas, get 2 free. Buy 5, get 5 free pizzas. You got a big hungry crew. Buy 20 pizzas, get 20 free. Bring in pizza today for your loyal employees and your clients. They'll appreciate you big time. Coaches, bring in your soccer, baseball, basketball, track, tennis team. It's free pizza at the Mind Chef restaurant. And your players are going to love that world-class game room, super affordable team bonding. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford. It's right off Highway 41 in Oshkosh. 2 locations, easy to get to, lots of close parking, plenty of seating. And a reminder, the Friday all-you-can-eat fish fry is $7.99. What a crazy low price. So don't cook today. Order now and pick up your pizza shortly, or dine in and enjoy your free Thursday pizza. MindShaftRestaurant.com. Big food, big fun. It's the Mine Shaft.
Adam Jensen, he's the 6 o'clock show at the Generac Power Stage at Summerfest. The big gig is underway. So yeah, the weather has officially turned now. It's summer now. And there's the one activity that is undoubtedly the king of Wisconsin summers. That's boating, right? Getting out on the water. In this month's Driver's Ed with Debbie, we take a look at how we can all be a little bit safer there.
If you're anything like me, you're just itching to hit the beautiful waters of Wisconsin this summer. Whether you're cruising on a pontoon, zipping on a speedboat, water skiing, or out for just a nice paddle, getting out on the lakes is what summer's all about. But before you launch into full-on fun mode, we should go over a little boater safety. To get the real scoop on staying safe on the waters, I caught up with one of the DNR's conservation wardens, Lieutenant Nick Miofsky, and he's really seen it all out there. Like one of the most common boat blunders, not wearing those life jackets.
If you're going to be out on the water, especially as a boat operator, make sure your boat has the correct number of life jackets for everybody on board your boat. And make sure those life jackets are in good condition, and make sure they're the right size and fit for everybody on the boat. So if you have children on the boat, make sure you have enough youth life jackets that are going to be the correct size and fit for those children as well as adults, and make sure they're accessible at all times. We advocate as wardens that you wear your life jacket at all times, but they just need to be on the boat and accessible for everybody.
So life jackets are not just a suggestion, they're a key piece of equipment. And before you say they're too bulky and uncomfortable,
there's a lot of new technology in life jackets as well. There's a lot of low profile type life jackets that if you see us out on the water, we always wear our life jackets, and they're a lot more low profile than those bulky life jackets.
And that goes for not only on motorboats, but also when you go out on a canoe or a paddleboard. By law, you need to have a life jacket with you at all times. So no more excuses. Just look for those low profile jackets that are designed for comfort. Another must-have on board? a fire extinguisher.
Any boat that has enclosed compartments in it that can get combustible gases in there needs to have a fire extinguisher on board. It's just good practice to have a fire extinguisher on board a boat at all times, and that's something that we do look for when we do our boat safety checks.
Hopefully you'll never need it, but if you do, you'll be glad it's there. He also mentioned securing your boat's battery and don't overload the boat. Always check your weight capacity for your vessel. Since Wisconsin waterways are truly
quickly in Wisconsin, and just being aware of storms coming in, especially if you're on a bigger body of water.
And finally, if you're at the helm, there are some more important rules of the road. Water.
Anybody born after January 1st, 1989 would need to take a boater safety course. And that can be done online or in person. So it's a very easy course to take. And it's just like having a driver's license to operate a car. We're going to check for that. It is a violation if you're operating a boat without that boater safety certificate.
Remember, responsible boating means more fun for everybody. So grab those modern, comfy life jackets, check your gear, be mindful of the crowds and the weather, and make sure you're properly certified. Then go out there and make some amazing summer memories safely. You can make a stop on WTMJ.com to get more details on some of the DNR rules. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
9:51. So why are they only playing one game today? We'll explain what really happened in Chicago next.
We may be months away from winter, but it's never too early for the team down south to start hibernating. The Brewers head to Chicago to take on the Cubs.
Fly ball to center, and it is gone! Jackson Churrio's got a dozen homers, and the Brewers have broken it wide open.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:45. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Summer in Milwaukee means a couple of things: Brewers baseball and live music. Get the best of both when the Brewers take on the Rockies June 27th, featuring a post-game concert by Nelly. Then the first 25,000 fans at the game on June 28th get a Pat Murphy Manager of the Year bobblehead, courtesy of Toyota. Get ready for a weekend you'll be talking about all summer. Get your tickets at Brewers.com.
Don't think twice. Call Dice.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with the new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors rank first among all home improvement projects. To see Geiss's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield, or you can also visit their online showroom at geissdoors.com. Geiss has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geiss at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geiss. Visit them online at geissdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Dice.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at amazonbusiness.com.
It's the biggest door in your house. Time to give it the attention it deserves. Vince Vitrano here talking about Lifetime Door Company in Brookfield. Updating your garage door increases the value of your home. It's the first thing people see, and it's the best return for your money on investment. At Lifetime Door, if you have an emergency, they'll come out 7 days a week to service existing garage doors and openers. 5% off any service or install at Lifetime Door Company in Brookfield. Get started now, 262-783-4004, lifetimedoor.net.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station.
Wisconsin's Morning News. And thanks to Telly Hughes for joining us today, and for Vince. Vince is back on Monday. Def Leppard, by the way, the headliner tonight at Summerfest. So we're going to broadcast live from Summerfest starting at noon. Then we got a day baseball game today, Brewers and Cubs. And this game should take place at Wrigley. So the game last night was canceled because of rain. And Telly Hughes made the very astute observation that the Cubs and Brewers are playing just one game today, Meanwhile, the White Sox, who also had their game last night canceled in Chicago, are going to play a doubleheader against the Cardinals. So why can the Sox play a doubleheader and not the Cubs and Brewers? So you posed that question to Matt Arnold, Brewers general manager, and here was his response.
Yeah, I had similar questions about that as well. It sounded like there were some business side conflicts with the Cubs on their end, and some city ordinance issues that came up as well. So I think potentially the conflict might have been Jacob Mizorowski, to be honest. But
that's what it was. Well, so whether it was Miz or not, who knows? But when he says business situations there, that's basically the Cubs can make more money to have a day-night doubleheader.
Absolutely.
Later on in the summer than trying to cram that in right now.
Serve them well. And like you said, I mean, it's more money, but also when you look at and love Matt Arnold.
Yeah, he was great.
Answer.
Great
answer because
answer.
yes, there are city ordinances that the Cubs have. They can only play so many night games.
Right.
But my thinking is, and correct me if I'm wrong, if last night was a night game that didn't take place, that shouldn't count towards the number of games that you played in order to comply with this ordinance.
We need to get the mayor of Chicago on the phone right now.
Hey.
We got to get this figured out.
No, all you got to do is just go to the Cubs and figure that out. They'll tell you.
1:20 first pitch this afternoon here on WDTMJ Radio. It's the Brewers and the Cubs. We will broadcast live from Summerfest beginning at noon with Wisconsin's Midday News. And then, of course, Sandy Max will be there after the program and the afternoon show as well. Thanks to Sandy Max, to Kyle Wallace from 101.7 The Truth, to Matt Arnold, and all the others who joined us on Wisconsin's Morning News today. If you missed any of it, including fascinating conversation with Jeff McCausland from CBS, he's a military guy who walked through exactly what would happen if and when the president decided it was time to bomb Iran. It's all on the podcast page. Just text the word Vince. Deciding Unlimited, WDTMJ talking text line 855-616-1620. Telly, thank you.
Thank you. Always fun.
Point taken is next.
Let's take the car and save the
I'm Jim Token,